Thing going out here in the field, man. It's a sticky world we live in, man. Usually I start my show off with a little motivation because I want to motivate the crew. I want to show y'all that everything is possible. Anything can be done, man. And I think we got it rolling. So let me just change this over to news from category. This is a tedious process, ladies and gentlemen. Like if you ever want to become a YouTuber, bro, and pick a niche and get down with it. I've been doing this about a year and a half ish. So I want y'all to like, if you really want to do it, but you got to do it fast because it's starting to get like crowded, and it was already crowded before. But y'all got AI now, man, and AI is really taking over stuff, bro. It's like for real. Like if you know, because you'll be on here and you'll see it. So AI is really kind of like putting their imprint on YouTube. You see, they changing the rules because of AI. So, and I mean AI on YouTube, by the way. Boy hot. That boy hot. You hear me? So, like I said, if you guys want to do YouTube, make sure y'all stay focused on the goal. Like, see, use AI to figure out the analytics. Like, I have AI do a lot of my work because it's like it's tedious almost, and I don't really have too much time to waste. I'm a guy that works a lot of doubles. Let's just say, I'm a guy that works a lot of 16-hour shifts per week. But this part of the hustle, this part of like, if y'all want to get ahead, this is how you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? There's no shortcut to success. You just got to get in, get active. All right. And speaking of that, I might as well, let's do this. I might as well zoom this in and get that motivation in real quick. Might as well get that motivation in, ladies and gentlemen, because this is how we're going to start the show. We're going to start the show every time. So if you guys want to subscribe to the channel and figure out how you want it. So this is the Savage Daily News. It's the Savage Night News at night, but it's the Savage Daily News. And I always start my show off with a little bit of motivation. Then we go straight into the news, and we talk about federal news, local news like state news, you know what I'm saying? And then local like Chicago. If you don't know, your boy is Savage, is born and raised in Chicago, brother. Yes, it's a dirty world out there, man. But y'all not gonna convince me that people ain't finessing, right? So I'm gonna be that truth. That's that Savage talk. And speaking of that, I want y'all to stay focused on the mission at hand, man. Those that think they can do it and those that think they can't do it, they are both correct. Now let me repeat that for you, for those that didn't hear me in the background. Those that think they can do it, and that's anything, and those that think they can't do it are usually both correct. Man, Angelo, what you talking about? What I'm talking about, bro? I'm talking about if you have a lack of belief in your life, you got a lack of motivation, you don't want to do more than the next person because for some other reason, maybe you're complacent, maybe you don't care to be more, then that's what you are. You get what I'm saying? That's your future. That's what you're going to be. That's who you will become because that's who you put in your life. That's what you've programmed in your own head. The thing I like about AI the most, and I might ran off a little bit about this, but this makes sense and it connects. We are humans, what we say we are, right? AI is what you tell it is. Does that make sense? If you write a prompt into AI, ChatGPT, OpenAI, or anything, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and you tell AI that you are executive chief and staff producer, or you are PhD doctor of any type of disease or any specialty, it will only focus on that, and it will be 100% of that. It is what you tell it is based on the chat. So we're running that back to the human beings. We are who we say we are. Simple as that. AI is only an extension of our own brain. Unfortunately, we're making it as powerful as us, as if we were a collaborative mode, as if we were all in one. That's the thing. So AI is an extension of the human brain, which means I can use my neurons to shoot neurons into this AI that will shoot neurons into all of internet information. And it will bring me back what I need. It will act as such as I tell it to act. That's who you are as a human being. But you got to believe it first. The world is for those who take it, not just earn it. You have to take it. You have to go into earth and you have to be like, and people might think, oh man, Angelo, you talking nonsense, brother. You don't know what you're talking about. Look, believe me, I've watched dozens of people die. I work at a nursing facility, by the way, for you guys that don't understand. I'm in the nursing field. I've been in the nursing field for over about 10 years. This year, make 10 years. I've been in the nursing field. I've witnessed people die. I've did CPR. We've lost multiple people. I see the other side. I understand life. Now, there's more for me to know. Of course. But I say this to tell you this. You are who you tell yourself you are, and you are who you don't tell yourself you are. So whether you go up every day and you eating bad, like those are just decisions that make you who you are. So you might go out there and judge another individual that's actually putting that work in. You might hate on a person, be like, man, he don't deserve that. Maybe he don't. But somebody put him in position to do that. So don't hate on the next man. Go and get it. They might tell you can't do it. You know what I know? I know that anybody that's the black sheep of their family, those are the ones that's usually successful if they turn that energy. That's unlimited energy, by the way. That's unlimited motivation. That's energy that you have, that you can convert into success, money, and monetary ways. You can create the body you want. You can get the money you want. You can have the woman you want. And you can have the family you want. It all depends on what you tell yourself and what you are. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that it's very important. Because you'll live your life blaming the man. You'll live the life blaming other people for what you didn't do or did do in your life. Let me repeat that. You'll live your life blaming the man, or you'll live your life blaming other people on things you did or didn't do in your own life. See, that goes over a lot of people's heads. You know why that goes over a lot of people's heads? Because they don't want to work for their success. They want to sit down. They want to play. They want to enjoy the moment. Don't understand that they're sacrificing their future. Facts. They want to enjoy their moment, but they don't understand they're sacrificing their future. You see, if you sit down right now, you hustle, you plan, you have all the tools. Look, I want to compare this to something. I'm 20. I just hit 29 years old, man. Young buck, but I'm getting old. You hear me? I had a youngster tell me the other day. He said, hey, Unc. I said, what? Stop playing with me, shorty. That's what I told buddy ass. I'm not playing. I'm not Unc. I'm big bro. But okay, I take it. Because my knowledge is of big Unc. I'm Unc status when it comes to knowledge. But what is an individual supposed to do? If you don't do nothing, you eat bad, you think negative thoughts, negativity will come. So I want to give you guys a challenge, man, before we start the show. I want you to do something for yourself. Get up every morning and make your bed. Just a little simple task, something to complete. You probably get up every morning anyway. I'll tell you a better task. Before you go to bed at night and you got to work in the morning, put your clothes out. Fold your clothes. And that's simple, man. If you grown, and of course, I'm talking to the grown folks in the chat. If you grown, you already putting your clothes out in the morning, right? If you grown, you already got your clothes set out in the morning, ready to just get on and jump either out to the gym or right to work. Unless you got to take a shower in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But you should be prepared. I told an individual the other day, I said, proper preparation beats poor performance. I want y'all to remember that. Write that down. Proper preparation beats poor performance. Why? Because if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to remember that. If you stay ready, y'all not hearing me. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. You will beat everybody else that's trying to achieve your same goals with the intensity of actions, with the sense of urgency. If you have a sense of urgency, you're going to get everything done. I created myself goals this year, and it's the most successful year I've ever had. By myself, no help, tenacity, fight adversity. You hear me? Blackmail, getting money, staying to itself. See that friendship? Y'all must be young. Y'all definitely young in the chat. If you ain't young, man, you would know already. Those friends don't stay forever, man. I was a young buck once. I was a young buck once. You hear me? I was told by I remember this, and I remember she telling me it was 6th grade. She told me, she said, those friends you getting in trouble with, They not gonna be there later. And I said, man, them friends gonna be. And this, I swear to God, this is what I told her. I said, man, they gonna always be on my side. Those my homies for life. Silly me. Silly me. Facts. I bullshit you not, man. Silly me. I said, those homies my homies for life, man. The next year, fell off. Most of them, not all of them. 8th grade, or a bunch of other ones. We go to high school now. You know how high school go. Go to high school now, they got their cliques and their groups. I got 4, 5, 6 of them. You know, a little decent group. And then every year, you either drop 1 or 2. And it's not on my fault. It's just, they fall out of frequency with you. Let's just say that. And by the time you hit high school, when the time you hit senior year of high school, you got 1 or none. Facts. And don't let me talk about college after high school, bro. They all disappear. So I want you to take this information with you this morning. I want you to understand that with proper preparation beats poor performance. Are you a better you than you were yesterday? Are you a better you than you was a month ago? Do you have less debt? Do you have more stress? Like, what's going on in your life? I want you to evaluate myself. Since my birthday is on June 30th, my birthday is on the middle of the year. So I evaluate myself. I give myself a self-evaluation twice a year. On my birthday, I don't even enjoy my birthday. I do a self-eval on my birthday, and I self-evaluate myself on the first of the year. Now, with that proper information, then you see what you have done, what you have accomplished, what other goals do you want to get done. If not, y'all not ready for no money, man. You see, it's like talking about the president, saying you hate the president. Did you say, hey, bro, did you vote? And he like, hell no, I don't vote. I don't do that shit. Bro, stop talking to me then. That's the same reason. It's like if you complain to me about your bills, but you're not working towards fixing the bills, that's like the same as you telling me that Donald Trump is a monster, but you ain't even vote to get him there or get him out of there. Bro, it's like end of discussion. And I want y'all to understand there's going to be a lot of people in your life that's going to waste your time. There's going to be a lot of people in your life that's going to just waste your time. And you're not going to discover that until you look up and you're like, damn, what did I do this year? Y'all ever looked at your, and I hate to rant, it's the last topic and we're going to get off of this. You ever looked at your check stub? I mean, your W-2 at the end of the year where they gave it to you so you can file your taxes. And you said, man, what you mean I made $80K last year? Where that money at? Y'all ever had that feeling? Everybody had that feeling, man. You ain't from the trenches if you ain't had that feeling, G. You hear me? You ain't from the trenches if you ain't had that feeling where you look up and you said, man, I made 80, I made 60, I made 70, I made 50 last year, K. Where that money go? You blew it, shorty. That's what you did. You blew the money. Of course, it went nowhere. And you still got the same debt you had last year. I think in this channel, I want you guys to wake up because I'm finna get real with you, G. Because I'm, you know, when it's Savage Reacts, when I start talking, y'all gonna wake up now. Definitely when we talking about the AI shit. Y'all need to understand that this life don't love you. People love you based on what you can provide to them. You think that's not true? Remove yourself from it. Your homies, you drinking and smoking with your homies? Stop drinking and smoking. Guarantee they cut you off. Your family, stop showing up. Stop doing little favors for them. Guarantee they cut you off. Or they lower the amounts. I'm telling you, it's a cold world, G. And most people do not understand that until it's too late. But it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Ignorance is bliss. But once you put those glasses on, shorty, once you put them knowledge glasses on, there's no taking them off. You start seeing things as they are, not as they're portrayed. You see them as they're being told to you, right? So that being said, man, it's time to get into this real Savage Reaction. It's the Savage Daily News. And I'm going to tell you what to do. Now, take what I say with a grain of salt. This is just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get too offended. But make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's your boy Angelo Savage, man. It's that Daily News. What's going on, shorty? We up. Let's go. All right, we in a chat with it, man. Let's get everything prepped. We finna prep for the morning show. Y'all know what it is, man. Stop playing with the boy. Yeah, we up. You know, when you got that energy on you, you got that energy on you, man. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. There's levels to this that we got Jeffrey Gates in the chat. He said, "How you doing today?" I'm doing wonderful, man. I just hit the gym. I'm active, man. I'm blessed. I'm alive. That's all there is to it, man. I ain't too much stressing about nothing, man. Nothing I can't control. Shit, if I can't control it, so be it, man. If it was yesterday, that's old news to me, man. That's how I run. If it was yesterday's news, that was yesterday. I told somebody that they got confused. They're like, "What about that?" I'm like, "Yo, look, tomorrow is tomorrow, and yesterday was yesterday. I'm not stressing about. I prep for tomorrow, and I don't care about what happened yesterday. That's the past. That's how you lower your anxiety and your stress. Guarantee you. If you have any like anxiety, and you might not even know you have it, but if you stress about some shit, you got a little bit of anxiety. You're worrying about things you can't control. Facts. You worried about things you can't control. Don't worry about it. Like tomorrow is whatever day. Shit, so be it. Shit, I don't even care what I'm doing for the rest of the day. I'm just prepping. I just prep for what I need to do within like a 24-hour span. And that's it. Like I said, prep your clothes in the morning before you go to work. So then when you get up, brush teeth, or if you got to take a shower, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, coffee, eat, clothes on, out the door. But what happens when you didn't prep for tomorrow? Now you get up. I got to put my clothes in the washer or the dryer, get the wrinkles out. I got to find the clothes. Then I got to put it on, do all this shit. You didn't prep the coffee. You ain't prep the clothes. You ain't prep your bag. Boy, you running out the crib. Discombobulated. You see, proper preparation beats poor performance, ladies and gentlemen. I want y'all to remember that, man. So, this your boy Angelo Savage. Don't forget to put the Savage on Angelo. You heard me? And this is Savage Reacts. I'm going to tell y'all what it do. So, it seems like a lot of things are going on in the world right now, okay? So, right now, we got some federal things. This is on this show, we go federal, then we go states, then we go local, you know, in Chicago, because there's some bunch of BS happening out here in Iraq. And I'm not that liberal sugarcoat. I'm not going to lie. If you, hey, I like to sit in the middle, but I know when wrong is wrong. I know when wrong is wrong. I might be a young buck, but I understand what's going on. You hear me? I know when wrong is wrong, and I know y'all know when wrong is wrong. We're progressing too fast. So let's just say that. Yes, y'all know. Come on, man. I can speak with a man, at least a man. Now I speak a man right in his eyes, and he knows when some shit is wrong. We know. Come on, man. We got that instinct. We got that automatic instinct that tells us, like, hey, man, the world's kind of going a little crazy right now. I think we might want to protect ourselves. You know what I'm saying? That being said, let's get straight to it, man. It's your boy Angelo Savage. So it seems as if, and this is just a little video I'm reacting to, and if you guys find a video that you might want Angelo Savage to react to right here live on YouTube, man, y'all put that in the chat. Y'all just put the name of the video, what happened. I heard about, we're going to be talking about Charlie Kirk and the guy that's in jail. Look, I'll be honest with you. And this is before I even react to it. We wasting a lot of time on that shit. Put that nigga in jail. We already know what it is. Everybody said he did it. Come on. Like, our system is so screwed up, ain't it? How we waste so much time on shit that we already know the truth to. Yeah. But that's the system. It has to feed itself, you know, so it almost makes its own trouble so it can feed itself. That's beyond your head, Dome. You know, sometimes I speak over people's heads. So if you catch what I'm saying, then you understand, man. Then you're in the right channel. This is the channel of consciousness, nigga. This is the channel of people that are wise and understand what's going on in the world. We're not gonna lie to you. I don't sugarcoat anything. If I lie to you, I'm lying to me, and I ain't lying to me. It's your boy Angelo Savage. Let's see what's going on. So it seems as if Secret Service has urged Trump to use the old Air Force One as security precaution. I wonder why. Look, I know they got the Qatar. Qatar gave us a new plane. Yeah, Qatar did it. They gave us a new plane, and we should have been iffy. That plane ain't cheap now. Ain't that like a $50 million plane or something like that? $80 million plane? Like, what? We should have known. But then again, yeah, I thought y'all did the safety checks already. It's a nice plane. It's a gift. But there's safety things involved with it. You got to understand, it's the Middle East. They be having plots and stuff. You never know. But if the Secret Service is saying there might be something up, it might be something up. It's your boy Angelo Savage. Tell me what y'all think about this in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go. Let's play the video.
This morning, new questions about the security of President Trump's new Qatari-gifted Air Force One after an unexpected switch in planes during his return from the NATO summit. Sources say the Secret Service urged the president to depart Turkey in the older Air Force One instead of the new jet as a safety precaution amid escalating tensions with Iran. The new plane, donated by Qatar, reportedly does not have the same defensive capabilities. Trump denied security concerns were behind the switch.
So you're saying there wasn't a security concern?
No. Why would there?
But passengers on the plane were told to keep their window shades down during the flight.
Do you know why they had us close our window blinds?
Yeah, because you're, probably on a dangerous flight because of the sleaze bags that we have to deal with.
The Qatari jet was flown separately to a base in the UK, where the president boarded it for the rest of the flight home. This happening as the U.S. carried out a new round of attacks on Iran. Overnight, Central Command saying forces hit 90 Iranian military targets. Video online appears to show some of the attacks. Iran retaliating, targeting facilities in Bahrain and Kuwait. U.S. officials say since the war began, Iran has shot down 30 Reaper drones, each one costing roughly $30 million. This latest U.S. escalation follows Iranian attacks on ships in the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump acknowledging the ceasefire with Iran is now over, which sent oil prices surging, raising concern gas prices could rise again. President Trump now touting the launch of a new private gas station network called Freedom Fuel, offering discounted prices at the pump. The White House says the private company is cutting prices by accepting less profit per gallon, not through government subsidies. The first Freedom Fuel station opened near Philadelphia. A total of 25 stations are planned across Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Now, I like to react to that last part because that was actually interesting about the Freedom Fuel thing. You know, I want y'all to understand that the reason why we pay so much is not only does it cost, the price of it has gone up, or like the availability of it has dwindled. It's also the fact that the companies don't want to eat the price. So if the companies want to eat the gasoline price, like Shell, people like that, BP, if they just like say, all right, man, we're not going to take a profit so we can keep the gas prices lower, then the gas prices would probably stay lower. If that makes sense. But what happens is the company's like, okay, well, it's like a stock market. It's like we want to consistently make money year over year. And of course, it's a capitalistic company and they want to make money, but we're in a unprecedented time of the year. You know what I mean? We're in war with a foreign country and this is not going to last forever. But instead of them like eating the price, they want to make profit. So they up it so it can either balance out, it can be the same price or more. Does that make sense? Instead of them selling it as much as they got it. It's the same for when we're buying debt, like you get a house mortgage. The mortgage company that you get the house for that pays for your mortgage is upping the amount of percentage that you're paying versus what they're getting it for. Does that make sense? Right. So I want you guys to understand that part too. So, but before that, safety precaution with the plane. Now, the one thing I do like about Trump is if he gonna lie, you know he gonna lie. Like he'll lie right in your like if he gonna lie, he kind of like he was trying to say something, but he knew he couldn't say too much. He was like, it's just a precaution. We in a dangerous area. Nah, bro, I think something's up. But thanks that you didn't have a Sometimes Trump is so unprofessional that he doesn't say things in the proper way, which means he gives off like real information, which is fine with me. I actually like it because it gives authenticity. You know what I'm saying? It makes him more authentic when he's speaking, as if like he ain't gonna lie. If you gonna ask Trump directly, he ain't gonna lie. But if you ask the other directors and boards, like they gonna lie to you. They have a professional way to say things. You know what I'm saying? So this is actually pretty interesting. I wonder why they said it. They obviously knew that you never know, because we're supposed to be protecting Qatar and all the Middle East countries, UAE, all of them. And I heard, and this is just what I heard, and this is a recent video. While we're on the subject, I might as well go right to it. Israel, and I don't know if I trust Israel like this no more, but it says that Israel has warned the U.S. that Iran president was plotting to kill him. And that was possibly the possibility on why they switched the planes from the old plane to the new plane. Does that make sense?
Former National Security Council Senior Director for Counterterrorism, Javed Ali, is here for more. Javed, thanks for coming on. So how concerning is this report that Israel shared intelligence about a new Iranian plot to assassinate President Trump?
So, Diane, nice to be with you. And interesting that these details are coming out about the Israeli report. Now, obviously, none of us have seen the particulars of it. Not sure what the original source of that information was, whether it was technical intelligence or human intelligence. It would be surprising, though, for the Iranians, especially now, to think about an assassination plot against President Trump, because that would derail everything that is potentially on the table with respect to a deal to end this conflict. But going back to 2020 in the aftermath of the U.S. military attack against Qasem Soleimani, the head of the IRGC Quds Force, Iran did think about conducting these revenge plots against President Trump and John Bolton and other senior U.S. government officials. But I think we're in a different strategic context. So I'm not dismissing it entirely, but we'd have to sort of get to the bottom of that Israeli reporting and see how credible that actually was.
Oh, I see. And sources tell ABC News the Secret Service urged President Trump to fly out of Turkey on the old Air Force One instead of the new Qatar-gifted plane. Trump said the change had nothing to do with security concerns, but two officials say it was influenced in part by differences in the plane's security capabilities. What do you make of that?
There was a New York Times report that came out last night or this morning that touched on those issues, and it does seem, based on the New York Times reporting and other media reporting, that there were some issues in the security posture or profile of the legacy Air Force One plane and the new one from Qatar. How wide was that gap? Obviously hard for any of us to know, but if the Secret Service went to the Air Force and said they would prefer for President Trump and his team to fly on the old or the legacy Air Force One plane, I think it shows that there was legitimate concern from within the government to do everything they could to keep President Trump safe while transiting back and forth. So that, I think, is why we saw the switch to the legacy plane versus the new one from Qatar.
The U.S. and Iran are still holding talks. How sensitive are those negotiations right now?
So we've seen over the last 3 days that both the U.S. and Iran have really ratcheted up the stakes in terms of operations against each other. So it looks like, going back to our last conversation a couple of weeks ago, that things are climbing up an escalatory ladder on the military side, yet at the same time, there's still diplomacy occurring, although the potential for that to realize into a deal may be slimmer now than it was 2 weeks ago when we last talked. So it's so hard to know, but just based on what's been going on with both Iran and the U.S. hitting each other, it would not be surprising to see more of this continued pattern of hostilities over the coming days. And again, there may be less appetite for deal making now, and both sides may be more willing to keep fighting against each other.
Bro, I thought we had a deal before. What is going on? I thought we had a deal. But I think it came off because of Israel. But now Israel's telling us, they're warning us based on Israel's intel, and we have to listen to Israel's intel that the new Iranian plot to kill President Trump by the president of Iran. But it's like, do we trust Israel? Like, that's where I'm getting at now. I'm getting to a point where I'm like, do we even trust Israel? Is the information we're getting from that, is it even accurate? You know what I mean? Or is they lying to us so we can attack them? We should double check all intel that comes from Israel now, because there might be a conflict of interest and they just want us to attack their enemies. But because they're the reason why the deal is not keep continuously going. You know, so I feel like this might go on for the rest of his presidency, G. I hope not. I really hope that this doesn't go on for the rest of Donald Trump's presidency, because it's a sad turn of events, let's just say. Because we can prosper so much more when gas is lower. You know, that means the economy would be better due to the fact that everything runs on the gas. The gas is the reason why, well, diesel is also the oil. So the oil is the reason why everything else is causing more. And I want y'all to understand, if you don't understand, if the oil costs more money, right, per barrel, it costs more for truck drivers to move this stuff around the country, which means they have to charge more to move it. That means nobody's eating the price, because the gas, the diesel costs more for the truckers to fill it up, which means they lose money trying to transport it, which means they need more money per mile when they're transporting goods because of the oil being so much more. Does that make sense? But the company does not want to pay more money, so they charge more for the product that they're transporting, which makes sense. You have to, right? But nobody's eating the price up. You know who eats the price? The consumers. And that's why we feel that everything is costing more money, because it is because of the oil. So if we can get the oil down to a certain level, or the companies that are the oil companies eat their profit technically, and they just kind of break even, like the price that they buy it at, they sell it at, then yes, our price will go down. But that's not gonna happen, of course, right? Because this is the part where they making the hell of money right now. They're like, nah, we not eating shit. Actually, we're actually gonna up it a little bit more. And to be honest, it's not stopping Americans from partying. I see a lot of Americans out there in Chicago, out across the country. Y'all still going out all day. They still spending hella money. Y'all still buying the $50,000 cars and up. So I doubt that. I know people complain about the economy and how everything's expensive and it's Trump's fault, but then again, y'all didn't adjust your habits either. So, like, if eggs are costing more, I'm going to buy less eggs. Get what I'm saying? Or make items that it's more cheaper. So that's like, at the same time, it's like a double-edged sword. People are complaining about stuff being expensive while still spending the same amount of money. Or they're still buying the same amount of things and not lowering the amount of stuff that they're buying to equate to this amount of money that they spend. So now they're spending more money, but they're not lessening their habits, if that makes sense. All right. It's a cold world, but I think this war shit has to stop, man. The first thing Trump said is that he was going to stop the war. Now, really, it was originally with Russia and Ukraine, which we ain't hear too much about it, but they did just recently attack each other, which, okay, cool. It's like, that's the problem with us being big brother. I want to understand y'all understanding that. That's the problem with us Americans being big brother to all these other countries. We got to hop in when shit go down. We got to use our military equipment. You know what I'm saying? And what do we get in exchange? Some of them give money. Some of them give intel. Some of them give nothing. And we just sit here as the scapegoat. We bring, like say, we'll bring the citizens out. Hey, we'll bring your citizens over to our country. Like Ukraine. You know how many Ukrainians came in our country when Ukraine and Russia got into it? A lot of them. They left all the old heads in there. From 18 to 65. He was over in Ukraine fighting by force. The women and the kids were able to come over to America, where they then found the new husband, American husband, while their husband was fighting for their lives and their freedoms of their countries. I know it's a cold world, but the thing is, we need to charge companies. I say charge them a monthly, like a subscription. This Netflix with America, this is protection. Like, we got to, you know what I mean? Because right now you got Qatar, you got AUE, you got all the Middle Eastern countries that assumed that we were going to protect them, and we cannot protect them right now while Iran is attacking our military bases on their property and their infrastructure. It gets deep, man. And I didn't start getting interested into this shit until it started making sense. I used to be a truck driver. Well, I still am. But it started making sense why I was like, okay, when this happens, this happens. It's like if A squared plus B squared equals C squared, and it continuously to adjust based on what's going on. So when someone's speaking on this type of stuff, you need to understand that if, say, Israel is into it with these dudes and they don't want to end the war, but we want to end the war with that guy, Israel's coming in the middle of us and that guy so the war don't end, so they can keep killing off their officials. But it's causing us more trouble than it's causing them, because they don't care, because they know that we have their back too. You see the discrepancies here? This is the reason why we got to, like, either dismantle Israel or give them less power over the United States of America. I don't know if there's blackmail involved. I don't know if certain people are saying things that can, you know what I mean? Because we're all focused on the Epstein shit. I'm be honest, this is way bigger than Epstein. Fuck all that shit. We worry about the money. You know what I'm saying? It's the gas. This affects all Americans. You know what I'm saying? So y'all tell me what y'all think about that in the comments section. It gets real duper deep. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? So if Donald Trump has to, because I feel like, I hope not, but I feel like they want to take him out, bro. And I don't mean for a date. They want to take him out, and I don't mean for a date. You hear me? So I just hope that everything goes well. I hope that we can settle this shit. And, like, I thought we was going to have this settled by the 4th of July. But that didn't happen. And then again, you have to blame Israel for their part in this. As we did settle this, they attacked again. And that kind of upwarded again in the ceasefire. Now, he announced that the ceasefire is over, which was, like he said, it goes and makes the gas prices go up more. Now, we did a boss move by blocking their barricades from their oil from companies that they're doing business with, too. Now, do I agree with it? No, but if that's the boss move you got to do, like when Trump said, he said, take all the European countries and let's block that shit off, and nobody getting out. But what did the European countries do? No, we're not doing that. No, no. I said, wait a minute. So we protect y'all when shit's going smooth, some shit going bad, and it affects all of us. And you're telling me you're not going to fight back? Let me give you an analyzation of this. We, big brother, United States, micro brothers, mini brother Israel, and then little brothers, European countries. If anybody like Iran or anybody bully them, we come over there and fight. Big brother come in and start fighting everybody. They protect them. Now Big brother's getting pounded slightly and they need a little assistance. That's all he asking for. He asked for a little assistance. They said, nah, big brother, you got this. We not gonna help you. I know all together we could beat this all together, but we're not confident in ourselves. We're not gonna help you fight. Same goes to Israel's fighting a little bit, but they're crap. I count Israel. I want y'all to understand this because I'm putting it in hood terms, so y'all can kind of interpret this differently. I count Israel as the crash out little brother. Does that make sense? And then I count all the European countries that we protect, like France and Spain and all that. I count them as like pussy little brothers. That's like not willing to do nothing. They just want to sit and eat they passettes, the little dip the little bread in the coffee. They just want to do that shit while shit is going down. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Israel's the crash out little brother. Now you got to come in and protect them. But we didn't forget, they have big brothers too over there. And they just been silently watching. That's our problem. We got to stop being the big brothers to other countries. It's causing discrepancies to the American people. That's all. We causing a problem within our own people. And when he says American first, I mean, I thought he meant that shit. When you say America first, that mean, hey, if they not serving the purpose of America, get rid of them. Simple as that. That's how I look at it. Maybe I'm more savage with it. But when he said America first, I assume that when they're not helping America, get rid of them, okay? All right, well, y'all tell me what y'all think about that in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. It's your boy, Angelo Savage. This is Savage Daily News, man. Peace. Now we're going to go straight to the comment section. So I got my landscape mode over here. I got Mr. Cray, Mississippi. What up, brother? What up? How y'all doing over here, man? Y'all can comment all you want in here. Mr. Cray, he's an OG. You hear me? So I'm going to read off his chat. He said, it's the tax paid as well. It's the taxes paid as well. Man, look, I think that goes above a lot of people's head, Mississippi or Cray, because the taxes that we pay goes and funds all this dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? The taxes that we pay funds all the goofy nonsense. So it would be best for the American people to be like, nah, we don't want war, because your money's going into it. We don't want fraud because your money's going into it. Anytime people are stealing from our country, anytime we're funding dumbass shit, it's all being paid by the taxes that they are taking from us. And when they run out, what do you think they're going to do? I want people to use their brains. If in this channel, we're going to lose our brains a little bit. What do you think they're going to do when the money that they're using, our tax money that they're using, runs out and they need more? I think they just going to sit there and be like, we'll just wait next year until the next cycle of money come in. The next tax. No, they're going to raise your shit. They're going to increase your taxes. And then you can be like, I can't survive. I can't survive. While that's happening, AI is taking your jobs. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of research on this shit, and I come to the analyzation that a lot of people are going to be in trouble soon. A lot. All right. Next comment, Cray. Air Force One is a weapon with countermeasures not found on any other plane. Yeah, it is. So I think personally with the plane shit, I think that something might have not been working, and they don't need it to not be working over in Turkey or wherever they at. Because if you have counter measures like, hey man, fly the jets out here. We need jets on, as an escort, our own personal jets. You know what I'm saying? Something security wise was not set up, and they're not saying it. They're not saying that, oh, the plane was fucking up, as in, I think as if you never know. They could have put some technology in the plane that's like, hey man, once he over this island, cut all countermeasures, G. Make sure, but then Secret Service is supposed to fix that. Secret Service is supposed to go in there and make sure all that shit don't work, but you never know. You got to get from somebody. I would have had their ass pull the whole plane apart and put the whole plane back together. I mean it. Ribbit by ribbit, G. For real. It's time, Cray said, it's time to hit bridges, electric grids. Nah, bro, no water, no oil. They're done. Nah, we can't do that, brother. It's a little extreme now. Now, Americans, we have a tendency to do more violence when we feel like hurting in a way. I feel like this is a solution for love, brother. This is a solution for a manly handshake. He just needs to go over there, apologize for his wrongdoing. I know. We're America. We don't apologize for things, but I think it's a little bit of, humanity when you walk over there and you shake a man's hand and be like, hey, man, I didn't mean to do that, but it happened. What do we do from here? I don't want no more war. I come over here like a man, look you in your face. That's for real. That's if Trump can do that and the problem is solved, I already have respect for him. I would have the utmost respect even more. Because he walked over there to a foreign country, shakes the hand of his enemy, and be like, hey, man, we got to call this off. But, of course, they need a deal. You just can't be shaking hands, right? Because Trump is not directly talking to the new president or the leader, the supreme leader of Iran. He's talking to all his people. This ain't vice versa. Nobody's talking directly to anybody. And I think that's the discrepancy. When people aren't directly talking to the individual is when the problem occurs. Yeah, But then again, there has to be peace. What's the other option, G? What is the other option? Because I'm that type of person. Let me read your comment. It says, there are extreme terrorists. They want death. They are not stable. Oh, okay. So they want death, and they're not extremely stable. I'll tell you this. What's the other option? There's only one option, G. Because the one option, we keep wasting money. They have power to something. I would say this. Let me see if I can Google it. Let's see. I'll show you. So we out here in Iraq. Where Iraq at? We out here in Chicago, right? Whatever. Let's go to Iran. If I can y'all see that? I would tell you why it's not wise to, it's better wise to, it's better keep your enemies close and your friends close, your enemies closer. That's all. Because what's the other option, G? Because what Israel is doing is what you might be saying that we should do, but it's not the wisest thing to do. Because not only do they have the supersonic missiles and they can tear down Israel's dome. That's why every time they do it, Israel come back like, America, please save us. Please, please, please. Now you see this right here? This is straight ahead muse. Let me go back in there. Can y'all see that, ladies and gentlemen? I appreciate the love, y'all. Can y'all see my cursor? Hold on. Y'all can't even see my cursor. Hold on. Reaction. Cursor. There you go. Y'all can see it now? So, this right here is Iran, right? Right there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dubai over here, right? Right over here. Y'all can't see it? Yeah, Dubai over here. See this little piece right here? That's Iran's. You hear me? That's Iran's right there. That little piece. This is the strait. This is what makes Iran own this part of this bridge, is this little piece of land. Now, I'm a more strategist. If it was up to me, and I was America, I would take over this little piece right here. This little piece dictate why they're able to cut off. Does that make sense? Is that making sense to y'all? This little piece right here is the reason why they can block this off. So, in my eyes, this is what I think we should do. If we was going to do, because he's talking about they terrorists. Craig talking about, the extreme terrorism. They want death to us. Look, I would want death to people that killed my leader too. Okay, we're not safe. We're not safe from basically critique neither. We're attacking leaders. We killed off kids now. We killed off them for what reason? We're better to mess with his father than now the son that is now he's revengeful. We've only activated him even more. Do you get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, based on what Craig just said, he said, extreme groups, they want death to America. Well, there's only two other options. You either make a deal with them or you got to eradicate them. Simple as that. There's no middle ground. You either have to make a deal. Actually, there's three. Tell me if I'm wrong in the chat, y'all. Tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm giving you misinformation, tell me what y'all think in the chat. Please comment. I want to hear what y'all got to say. There's three options. You make a deal with Iran. Simple as that. That's the simplest option. You eradicate them, as in go over there and nuke them, whatever you need to do, and just get rid of them. Or you take that little piece of land from them, which then will open it up. Now, it's going to be dangerous now because they are going to be mad. You took land from them, but you have access to the strait now. And in order for them to continue to get money and for you to get money, they're going to have to let boats through. That's that simple. You control that now. That's what we need to understand. That's all. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, huh? But I don't think, doing nothing ain't going to do nothing. Most Ukrainians don't favor this regime that's 90 million people and 80% of them want them gone. I don't know, bro. That's what they say. I don't know. You know what? Sometimes what I do, I go on Snapchat. I want y'all to understand. I go on Snapchat sometimes, and I go to the web because some of them have internet and shit. Some of them, Ukraine do, not you. Yeah, Ukraine do. I don't know if Iran does, but they have Snapchats. So anytime there's a war or something, go on your Snapchat maps and click on it. And these are authentic videos that are being uploaded by the people of that land. That's how you can tell what's going on in the foreign countries if the news is lying to you. You go to the Snap Maps and see who's uploading pictures in there. So anytime there was war in Ukraine and stuff, I would go to Ukraine and click Ukraine. And I'll see like missiles getting hit, all that shit. People yelling for help. When it was in the Gaza Strip, it's the same thing. Gazans, they sitting, oh, please help us. We're going to die. Please help us. And I'm like, damn, bro, they really doing it like that? You know what I'm saying? I felt bad for a minute. Yeah, so that's that. All I'm saying is it's affecting the nigga gas prices, bro. I'm trying to, when I be in the city, I be moving around. So I say all this to say I need better gas prices. I got to go to the hood every time to get the gas price. I don't want to keep going to the hood to get gas prices good. But, in Chicago, if you want the good gas price, like the cheap shit, you're going to be in the most ghettoest neighborhood, G. But you're going to get a good gas price. You might stick your head out the window and pump the gas like that. You might get a couple, bow, bow, bow. But, hey, you fill the tank up for $25, though. It might be worth it. That being said, it's your boy Angelo Savage. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the video. Also, if y'all got something to say it in the comment. Or forever hold your peace until the next video. It's your boy Angelo Savage. I appreciate the commentation. Let's get it. It says, so you're in favor for communism, which is without religious extremism. Look, Cray, because you're a little on the. I feel like the old folks, y'all think war is peace, and that's not peace. Why do you think China's been sitting there? They prep and they sit down and they shut up. They don't attack. They have their spies and they relax. We're so afraid of people that we attack them first. It's a flaw within Americans. We're so afraid of people, we attack them first. And they didn't even do nothing. Now, I'm not saying Iran didn't attack or nothing. I'm just saying that you catch more flies with honey than you do with shit. That's it. So when you're saying I'm in favor for communism, hey, that has nothing to do with us. I don't give a damn about none of that. No, most Americans don't care about how they run their regime in their country. I guarantee you. And it's crazy that you would even insinuate that. Look, most Americans don't care how other countries run their regime unless it's going to come over to our country. Our country's already being infiltrated by our own people, and that we're letting people in, and they're procreating in our country. Our birthright citizenship is given away. Just for nothing, just because you came over. You can come over here and scheme and steal from Americans when we're worried about their communistic economy. Fuck that. We don't care for real. You know what this has to do? The thing is, the media will convince people. They'll convince you. Look, the media will convince you that that's important to you, and you'll think it is, and it's not. What they do in over there has shit to do with us other than that gas, nigga. Other than that oil, that ain't got shit to do with us. We don't have control over nothing. We can have commentation about it. We can think about what they're doing. We can care about how many kids they're killing. It does not matter because at the end of the day, we don't control that. We have no say. But it affects the little person when it comes to the interest rates, when it comes to the oil prices, when it comes to the price of goods. That's when it affects us. But you think it affects people that got money? No, it definitely doesn't affect people that got money. They're profiting off of this shit. They're not trying to make a solution. Literally, as we have a ceasefire deal, Israel attacks again to cancel the ceasefire again. when Israel is the reason why that happened the first time, because they hit Lebanon. Like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? So I don't care about their religious beliefs, extremism, as long as they're not trying to harm Americans, because that's what they tell us. They say, oh, they're trying to kill Americans. Let's attack them. They're trying to justify to the public why they're doing what they're doing. When in actuality, they're lying to us, and then people, they go in there on the internet like, yeah, you're right. No, they're lying to the senators, and they're lying to all the people that makes decisions that allow them to go to war, which allows them to spend our tax-paying money. When we could just sit back, relax, and get this money. You see what China's doing. When the last time China went to war? China doesn't do that. They don't need to. That's why I think we're in more fear of China than anything. Their AIs are becoming better than ours. Their military, you look at when they had their little thing with North Korea, their military is superior. They got hella B-2 bombers. They got the nitrogen nukes. They can kill shit over, but you see, they sit there and chill because they understand that the clown you're a clown if you join the circus, if you argue with the clowns. That's all there is to it. They see America, what we're doing right now, and I'm gonna be honest with you, what we're doing in America right now, we're showing our hands. We're showing how we combat. We're showing how we find our own people. Look, if we can't beat Iran, we definitely ain't beating Russia, nigga. And if we can't beat Iran, we're definitely not beating China. Let's be real. Let's be 100% real. Who do you think just giving them their shit? So China's sitting back and watching like, oh, okay, this is how America attacks. They're sloppy. If we need to take them over, we will. When we want Taiwan, we will take it, and they're not going to be able to do nothing about it because they're weak. Because they don't have proper structure in their own country. That's not the same concept in China, and that's all I'm getting at. I'm not saying that it's not about being in favor of a communistic religious extremist, bro. That nigga, we're religious extremists in this country. Yeah. Everyone that talks about gay people, they're canceled, G. They're shunned upon. You can't even be pro-America in America no more, bro. So when it comes to other countries and how they run, that's their people, bro. I bet we're not saying that about Kim Jong-un. Why? Because he got that nuke. Do something about it. And that's the problem. When they already producing the shit so quick. It's like, bro, make a deal with them. That's all. You should have kept the deal how it was when Obama had it. You erased it, tried to do some other shit, and then you got mad at they creating shit. Sorry. We're in the modern day. People are going to protect themselves from people like us because Americans are very volatile. Just saying. Americans are super volatile. We sit back and we attack things that ain't attacking us because we're afraid that they could make something that could attack us. That makes sense? And I'm a victim of that myself with my own like personal stuff. I've been attacked because they were afraid that I was going to attack first. Never attacked. Didn't need to. But the anxiety in your brain made you think that these people are more of a threat to you. When in actuality, the people closer to you are more of a threat. The Americans are more of a threat to the president than these people. Facts. Not once have anybody attempted to take the president's life from a foreign country, but 3 to 4 people in our country tried to take the president's life. Come on, bro. We are more of a threat to ourselves than these countries are. They're gonna play it the smart way. They're gonna take the economics out of it. They're gonna get the oil. They're gonna get the money. They're like, all right, we're gonna make Americans struggle by restraining the oil. And they know they can't attack us because if they attack us, we attack the allies that's in our region that's weaker than them. And they can't do nothing about it. We're going to attack all the military American bases. We're going to attack the infrastructure, the AUE, all the people they made deals with. We're going to attack them because they're weaker. You see, that's the problem. We think that, oh, we got the missiles. You know what I heard somebody say? America got the best military in the world. Do we? Then why is this not over? Right. Because this is above our heads. This is above their heads. We shouldn't have got involved. I'm be honest, this is going to scar President Trump's whole presidency. Like, we're not even talking about Ukraine and Russia no more. Y'all notice? Plus, he met up with Putin. But we're not even talking about that anymore. We're talking about now Iran. Come on, man. It's over. All right, next subject. Next subject. We've been on it too long now. Appreciate the comment section, Cray. Like you got them good questions, brother. Appreciate that. Now let's move on to the next subject, man. Let's see what's going on in the other world. So, I guess the Charlie Kirk shit is going crazy, man. This is like most of the thing I want to speak on. Let's just play the trial. Let's see what's going on. It's sad in this world, bro. You got the people that are offended on what things you say, and since they're offended on things you say, they want to kill you. Like I said, Americans are more of a threat to America than anyone else. Literally. When the foreigners come in the country, and be honest with y'all gotta be real. This is Savage Channel. This is Savage Reacts. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The immigrants, they're only a threat to us because they take the opportunity away. We are more of a threat to us than they are, because we are trying to take our lives away. They're trying to steal and kill from us. Not saying they're not doing it too, but we're doing it at a higher rate. Not saying they should be doing it because they're guests. Just saying that we are doing it quicker. They're coming over for the opportunity now. They like, oh shit, America's leaving money on the table. How long are we as Americans going to leave money on the table? I want y'all to ask your question that. And when you go and sit with your family and chill and laugh and giggle, you know what I used to live by a Venezuelan. And I'm not a type of guy that's calling nice. I knew they were Venezuelan because I tried to talk to them. And I knew that type of Spanish. It wasn't Dominican Spanish. It wasn't Puerto Rican Spanish. It wasn't Mexican Spanish. This is like Venezuelan Portuguese. Like, I knew they were immigrants. I'm not about to call the police. Shit, they hustling. They doing what they supposed to do when you come over here. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm not for what you're doing. But since you're hustling way more than these Americans, you taking advantage of opportunity. I respect that. I can respect a man that gets up day and night and hustle, regardless if you illegally doing it or not. Now, is it morally right? Possibly not. That's beyond me. I'm not that type of guy to tell on you. Now, that being said, as we complain about these individuals, and I mean immigrants, we don't get off our ass and work. We're tired. We're drinking. We don't want to hustle. Including my community at all. You know, that don't come. I'm just somebody be like, oh, you're a black man. You can't speak on that. Look, even me, even my community, even my family, we're not exempt from what I'm telling you right now. Simple as that. And we just had the FIFA Cup, not to rant a little bit, but we just had that FIFA Cup. What does that mean? I want y'all to understand what a FIFA Cup means in America, in the North America, not just America. They get a taste of Canada. They get a taste of Mexico. Not that good. They get a taste of America, Canada. They like, this is structured. They got AC, G. We love AC. You get what I'm saying? Shit is structured, and they got AC. I like America now. How can we come over here with our family in America? That's what the immigrants are thinking now. But we ain't talking about the Spaniard immigrant. We talking about them European immigrants, not the Venezuelan, not South American immigrants. We talking about the European immigrants. They'll get in way faster than the South American ones. Facts. They'll get in way quicker. Y'all know why. I ain't even gonna explain that part. But let's just say, when the FIFA Cup happened, we literally just gave them. It's like giving a motherfucker a trial version of your superior company, and they're like, "Ooh, I need the membership." This is so. The trial was so good. I wonder what the paid version is. And they said, by any means necessary, I need my roots in America. Even if I need to impregnate somebody, hide off in America until I deliver. What you mean? The Supreme Court said it's okay to birthright citizenship in the country, and you don't have to be an American. Yeah, okay. It's finesse time. It's gonna be just like Canada and America. Facts. Soon, they're gonna get that protection from other countries because we have the body of water. Plus off all the power and the taxes. It's already infiltrated. I just want y'all, I don't even want to get deep in that. Like, that's a whole nother conversation. Our country is already infiltrated because we allowed it to be. Sorry. It will happen. All right. Let's move on to Charlie Kirk. Let's dumb ourselves down a little bit for these type of conversations. All right. It seems like Charlie Kirk murder trial is going on right now. And basically the evidence is coming out. Now, I was following it, but I want to pick a certain video that can get right to the nitty gritty of the information and kind of explain what's been going on. Now, this is interesting because this is footage of not only the guy driving into the parking garage, walking up to the goddamn ceiling, to the roof. But he's sitting there like he ain't do it. Like, and I hate all the conspiracy theorists in the world. Oh, Charlie Kirk, he's not dead. Charlie Kirk, he wasn't killed by what's his name? Tyler Robinson. I think Candace Owens said something like that. You know, I respected Candace Owens until she was saying nonsense like that. Oh, he not dead. It's because he was talking about Israel. I'm like, what? You niggas are reaching like horribly. Like y'all reaching hard. It was Israel, huh? When did Israel get into this? He was possible. You ever heard that? Tell me in the chat if y'all heard this. They said that Charlie Kirk died because he was a potential presidential candidate. All right, I need a soundboard so I can hit you with the fuck. Like, come on, that don't even sound right, G. You ever somebody explain something to you and it don't sound right at all? It just sounds dumb. That's when they say that this guy didn't kill Charlie Kirk and it was another guy. Evidence say otherwise. Nigga that found with the gun and a broken leg from jumping off the roof. It couldn't been him. It was another guy. Nah, nigga, you ain't slick. All right, let me play the video for y'all. All right.
What time of the day?
It's approximately 8:30 in the morning on September 10th, 2025.
Yeah, this
And
video
what
low
leads
as
you to
hell.
believe that this particular vehicle belongs to Mr. Robinson?
Information that was provided regards to driver's license and Department of Motor Vehicle records. The vehicle fits the description of a vehicle owned by Mr. Robinson.
Is there anything unique about that?
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. We're gonna refresh this page and turn the volume up.
What time of the day?
It's approximately 8:30.
This particular vehicle belongs to Mr. Robinson.
Information that was provided regards to driver's license and Department of Motor Vehicle records. The vehicle fits the description of a vehicle owned by Mr. Robinson.
Is there anything unique about that vehicle that stands out to you?
The shape of the vehicle is very distinct, but predominantly the wheels were very distinctive on this version of the vehicle.
Now what do we see?
The driver of the vehicle exits the vehicle and then walks on foot to exit the parking garage. It's the individual in the red T-shirt and the shorts and the shoes.
And do you believe you recognize who that person is?
Yes,
Who is that?
I believe that's Tyler Robinson.
All right, and where does he go from there?
He heads out of the parking garage on foot into the campus and actually goes to the quad area of the campus. At that time, he makes contact with some representatives from TPUSA.
By quad area?
Sorry, the amphitheater is what I've previously referred it to.
All right. So he goes up on campus, visits the amphitheater area, the courtyard or quad.
Correct.
And then what do we see here now?
He returns on foot back to the same vehicle.
And what time is he returning back to the vehicle?
It's about 9:25 a.m.
A killer.
And where is this parking structure located on campus?
It's just off of Campus Drive. It's a short walk from the amphitheater.
What do we see now?
That's the vehicle exiting with Mr. Robinson driving the vehicle.
Just threw his life away like that. He a goofy man.
Now what do we see?
This is Mr. Robinson returning to the campus on foot from the neighborhood to the northeast. You can see he's wearing the same clothing as in the previous video. And he's carrying a blue backpack.
Describe the clothing.
Silly.
It's a maroon colored t-shirt with gray or olive colored shorts and then Converse shoes.
And what time did he return to campus?
Just after 10 a.m.
And does he leave the parking structure eventually?
He does, yes.
Okay. And during this visit, do you know where he goes after he leaves the parking structure?
Yes, we were able to track his movements on campus. He went to Chick-fil-A in the Sorensen building and purchased some food, sat and ate the food.
Silly.
Then,
And
I'm sorry,
Where did he purchase the food from?
Chick-fil-A in the Sorensen Center.
And where is that in relation to the amphitheater or the courtyard?
It's kind of on the northeast side of the amphitheater. It would be on the upper back edge of the amphitheater, furthest away from where the tent was that Mr. Kirk was in.
And from there, where does he go?
From there, he moves across campus, out across Campus Drive into a wooded area on what would be kind of the northeast side of Campus Drive. Then returns back onto campus. We noticed at this point that he's no longer carrying the backpack that he was originally wearing. He moves through the Gunther building and the computer science building. And
goes
then,
where?
I'm sorry?
And then goes where?
Then goes across to the railing that gives access to the roof of the Losi building.
From there?
From there, he comes back down the stairs and walks off campus from that point.
And about what time was that he left campus that second time? Do you know?
I believe it was approximately 11 a.m. or just after, if I recall. I could verify from my notes if you need an exact time.
Yeah, if you don't mind. That'll help you remember, refer to it. Don't read it out loud. Just let me know when you've had a chance to look at that, would you?
Yeah, this is a silly situation. The man left home, came there, nice decent car, bro. Looked like he was in a decent situation. Like,
Were you
come
able
on, bro, he was
to
that
refresh
butthurt
your memory
for
as
real.
far as the time?
I was, yes.
And what time was it?
It was just prior to 11 a.m. when he walked off campus.
Okay. And before we go any further, the parking structure that he left initially, where is that parking structure in relation to the LDS Institute building?
I'm sorry, in relation to?
The LDS Institute building on campus?
I think it would be just to the north of the LDS Institute building, if I recall.
Do you recall whether it was adjacent to the LDS Institute?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. What do we see displayed here now? Go ahead.
This is a video of Mr. Robinson returning back to campus the same way that he did previously on foot.
And this takes just a moment. And why, well, let me ask you this. You believe this is Mr. Robinson returning to campus?
I do, yes.
Okay. And why do you believe it's Mr. Robinson?
The shoes are the same, and the images that we have are from my viewing and
the
seeing
same
Mr.
hat
Robinson on the video, it's the same person.
He's noticeably wearing different clothing.
He is wearing different clothing, and he also is walking with a gait or a limp in this video.
With a gait or what?
A limp.
Okay. Now what do we see?
So this is Mr. Robinson coming up the stairs of the parking structure. Again, he seems to be having issues walking.
Just walk past the killer.
And again, we're able to track. We're able to track Mr. Robinson when he leaves this parking structure.
Yes, we were able to.
Okay. So when he leaves the parking structure, where does he go?
He comes up around Campus Drive, as you can see on the video here. There is a cut through there north of the Losi building, and that's Mr. Robinson coming up the sidewalk. He has the noticeable gait or limp in his walk. And then he moves south across the front of the Losi building.
On the sidewalk?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
He would be the rear of the two individuals in this particular video.
So right now, if you were to break this picture into quadrants, where would he be?
He'd be in the top left quadrant, walking to the left of the image.
Now what do we see?
This is an image looking across the parking lot to the Losi building, and Mr. Robinson is appearing on the exterior staircase, which gives access to the Losi building roof and the area where the railing was.
And again, let's break that image into quadrants. Where would he be located if you broke it into quadrants?
It's in the top right, and the individual can be seen moving under the notations that are on the video.
Okay.
The video is hard to kind of see, but basically what's going on here is the guy is giving detail. I'm not
what
exactly
time is
sure
this?
on who's giving detail. I'm assuming this is the staff to the schooling, and they're giving detail based on what's going on in this video, how they perceived the guy getting out the car, going to the campus, coming back from the campus, going to the roof, shooting, going from the roof, going down, and escaping. Dressed differently.
And again, in the top left corner, the individual is now seen running across the rooftop of the Losi building to what would be the southwest corner.
Hold on, let me turn it back
of the
up.
Building, crouching down and then crawling to the corner of the building.
That's crazy.
And this is at what time?
Around 12:23. I think the timestamp on the video is 12:22.
They say they seeking the death penalty.
On the 10th.
Fuck yeah, nigga.
On September 10th, yes, 2025.
So we're clear. This
I
is
mean
the
the
roof
needle,
of the Losi building.
not the fire squad.
Can you still see that individual?
Yes, you can, laying prone.
No paralyzing agent, nigga. Yeah. So did he jump from the building? I think that's what hurt his
Do you
leg.
believe this to be Mr. Robinson?
I'm sorry?
You believe this to be Mr. Robinson?
I do, yes.
And how long is he out there on the edge of the building?
Just until the reported shot was fired at 12:23 and 28. The individual then stands up and then moves across the building to the north.
Is that what we're seeing happening right now?
It is, yes. And they move behind the
Zoom that shit in,
atrium
nigga.
area on the rooftop to the northeast corner where the white triangle is.
See, you see him running across the building right there.
You see
Let me
Mr.
put my
Robinson
cursor
now?
over there so you can
I
see.
do, yes. He's just arriving
It's
at the
right
corner
here.
of the building, almost the top center of the image.
Top center of the image. He's running across the building. I think this is.
What are we seeing now?
And Mr. Robinson lowering and jumping off of the roof of the Losi building onto the grass area.
Yep. Look, he jumped off. He
And
right
then
here.
moving away towards Campus Drive.
Now he's going. He
He
jumped off
appears
a
to be
building,
carrying
a
some kind of
two-story,
an object in
three-story
his hand
building.
at this time.
This nigga crazy.
So he's approaching,
Campus Drive.
and again, broken into quadrants. Where is he currently?
Be in the top right quadrant.
And the time?
It's 12:24 and 42 on the timestamp.
What do we see now?
He then crosses Campus Drive and drops down into the wooded area on the far side of Campus Drive.
This part.
And that is located in what part of the video? What quadrant?
It would have been
Upper center.
just off center on the top left side.
What do we see now?
This is the intersection of Campus Drive and 800 South. There's a vehicle attempting to turn right onto Campus Drive. That's the vehicle that's driven by Mr. Robinson.
And on the screen, where is that vehicle that you're referring to located? If you broke it into quadrants.
It's on the left side, on the upper side, the upper quadrant.
Now what do we see?
And that vehicle's now pulling away and heading east on 800 South.
We're learning more about the chaos at a 4th of July celebration in Newport Beach.
All right, so that was that. Let's go to the next one. So I just want to explain what was going on. So this is the guy. I believe it's the surveillance guy. It was basically demonstrating who he believed it was, how that person, what he did when he got in the parking garage. He went into the school. So he went into the schools. He knew Charlie Kirk was there and everything. He knew he was going to be there, of course. Went in there, got some food, acted regular and normal. And this is why I say you got to watch those regular kids that look normal, but they not normal. Like, some people got that deaf look on their face. You know what I'm saying? You can watch some of these kids and know that, like, hey, yeah, you look like a school shooter, bro. Like, you got that, like, you got death on your face. You know what I'm saying? You got, I don't give a damn about nobody else. I'm here to make an imprint before I leave the earth myself, but in a bad way. You know what I mean? It was like devil energies. You can always tell when somebody got the energy. You look this guy, what's his name? Robertson, Tyler Robertson, in the face. You look him in the face and you could tell he had death in his eyes, bro. And I want y'all to understand, this is all because of his views about gay people. It had nothing to do with nothing else. Okay? I want y'all to understand that when he did this crime, it had nothing to do with his political view. It just had, you got to think about this too. Charlie Kirk was he was a Christian man that was also a Republican, right? He had Republican Christian moral values, basically all values of, like, at least half of Americans have, most Americans have Christian values. Half of them are Republican. So he's mad because this guy had a say. This can be anybody. This can be a commentator. This could be a YouTuber online talking about the same type of things. He's mad that this person had a say, and he didn't like that he said he didn't approve of gay relationships. So he went to the extreme route to prove why people say that. You know what I mean? Imagine you prove, it was like, man, I don't like black people because they be stealing shit, right? So you go and retaliation and rob the guy and steal from him. It's like, what? You just proved him right, bro. You're unhinged. You're supposed to prove him wrong by not doing what he's saying. Be of success. That's the sad part about this situation. It's the kids. I've always spoken on this because you had all those videos, including black people. That's why I didn't understand this about black people. I even had a family member that was like, well, you can't say what you say. I'm like, you can't say that you don't agree with gay people and what they do. And this was coming from a Christian woman, by the way, that said this. And I'm like, you believe this too? Yeah, but I don't like he's with Trump. So kill him then, huh? So since he's with Trump, get rid of him. That's not even why he killed them. See, that's the misinformation between a lot of people. And that's what I don't like about the internet, because y'all not even researching the data completely. You're taking shit out of context. And then not only that, you could take shit out of context. You do that. You could make your fake videos. But then when you put action behind what you believe, that's where the problem comes. Definitely when it harms another individual. And then you got to think about all the people that are like, yeah, he should have died. Look, I'm a Charlie Kirk. Like, what? Like, come on, let's grow the fuck up. Let's grow up, because nobody should die that way. And you got to think about it. He weren't a bad person. He wasn't a bad person at all, you know. But the thing is, this guy, like, I got to take him out. Like, what did you prove other than you're about to die now, bro? And you about to scar every last member of your family, including your boyfriend, that's going to be now with another guy. It still works the same way, bro. It's like a crash out. One goes to jail, one dies. The boyfriend or girlfriend find another spouse. Look, come on. It's like come on. Does it not make sense? And now they're fighting, talking about he's not guilty. Bro, you're guilty. Let's just wrap this up.
Landmark new evidence revealed in the Tyler Robinson trial during pre-recorded testimony from Lance Twiggs, Robinson's ex-lover and roommate,
This nigga like a
including
killer too.
what Twiggs knew about bullets allegedly targeting Charlie Kirk that were engraved with disturbing messages.
About a computer. Look, this the boyfriend. He look crazy as hell too. Look, oh my God. He looked crazy as hell too. And I'm not saying that it's a white thing. It's just that certain white males have been doing this more than other people. Let's just say that, right? At least on this aspect where it's extreme. You know, you got black people in the hood. They shoot each other because, you know, it's just either gang or pride or some shit. Just, you know, crime of opportunity or crime of passion. This is a premeditated. that this dude's thinking about. You know what I'm saying? This is premeditated. This is, I don't like what he said, so I'm going to hold that in my grudge. I'm going to engrave the bullet with his name saying, catch this, and I'm going to plot his demise. That's a whole nother type of killing we talking about. One is just second degree, maybe, or even first degree. But this is like worse. Would you want, like, when you go to court and you explain to two different killers, one killer killed you because y'all was just in a fight at the moment and he just happened to pull his gun out and shoot. The second guy, you said something about a week and a half ago, maybe a month ago, and he held a grudge and plotted on you to pop up so he can end you. And then what you said wasn't, and what he said wasn't even far-fetched. Y'all gotta understand, what Charlie Kirk said wasn't far-fetched at all. A lot of people agreed on that. So now what we're supposed to put fear into straight heterosexual males that are conservative, Republican and conservative. You don't even got to be Republican. You could just be conservative. So now we put fear into conservative values. You're either going to respect my gay rights or I'm going to murk you off. That's the message this gave. That just feeds into why they say that they're kind of mentally ill. I'm like, it's working backwards, man. That's all I'm saying. It's working backwards. So basically, I seen this, like, I think this is it says explosive. Robertson defense cannot recover after this. This is the boyfriend of said killer, Mr. Tyler Robinson. So we're going to see what he says here, and we're going to go on with the thing. Let's see what's happening.
Just watch.
Was he engraving bullets before this?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when, but he had said he was planning to go hunting with his family. And he asked me for if we had a Dremel because he said he wanted to engrave messages on bullets. And I just told him where Dremel was and told him to make sure he doesn't set off a bullet on accident in the house. But I didn't really think about it until then.
Fox News contributor and retired FBI supervisory special agent James Galliano
Silly
joins me
Willy.
now. James, we heard from reports out of the courtroom that Robinson was really fidgeting at this point in the testimony when the bullets were discussed. So obviously there's something going on in his mind that he doesn't think this is good. How does the defense, from a legal
Can I pause it a second,
testimonial
ladies and
perspective,
gentlemen?
recover from that damning testimony about the bullets?
Yeah, Todd.
I want to say this before we carry on. The boyfriend should have known that he said, I'm going hunting with my family and I want to engrave the bullets. I'm going hunting with my family. I'm going to engrave the bullets. First thing in his mind should have been like, why would you engrave a bullet that you're shooting like an animal with? That just doesn't sound right. That's kind of off-putting. Or like, what's the logic behind that? You're in the wilderness. So what, you're going to take the bullet and be like, oh, this is the first bullet I shot a deer with? No. And they said he was proficient with the gun, which means he's used it before. That's a World War II gun he was using from his grandpa. They were killing people with that. That was a very powerful rifle he was using. The thing is, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it was the duty of the boyfriend to step in and be like, hey, man, whatever you're thinking about doing, because he had to have some inclination that something was about to happen. You know, you get the vibes. You're like, bro, why would, you know, because if you take it back to is it Louis Mangiari, the CEO getting killed, he just wrote on it with a Sharpie. You know what I'm saying? That he could have done that simply, but he said we're gonna purposefully step by step. But he thought enough to say that, oh, don't make sure you don't set off the bullet, because he knows that it can be set off by something like that. But he didn't think why that was so important. Why was he engraving the bullet at all? See, that's why you got to think. But then again, it's like, wow, because he just changed all their lives. And that's the only reason I mentioned it, because not only did he change the boyfriend's life, he changed the parents' life forever, because they got to witness him get killed. You know, the president spoke on this. You know the death penalty coming, brother. I know. You know that, right? Like, I don't even need to see the rest of the trial. I already know the outcome, bro. You had the president pop out. Charlie Kirk, the president and the vice president of the United States. You know what's about to happen, right? He's already guilty anyway. It ain't like he's not guilty, but he's getting the needle. It ain't gonna be no firing squad. They're gonna make sure he gets the needle. You know, they were doing the firing squad because the needle, they didn't have enough ingredients. They said it was over, but he's definitely getting that needle. And I want y'all to understand what that needle does. It paralyzes you first before they put, I think, 2 other valves in your body that makes your body feel like it's on fire, as if you're burning in hell. And the reason they paralyze you before they put the other 2 valves in there, because one makes you feel like you're burning in hell, the other one suffocates you from the inside out. And they paralyze you first because they want you to not react. They don't want it to be they want it to be visually more appealing to the people that are watching you die. Because if they seen what would happen if you weren't paralyzed, it will look horrible. It will literally, you'll be screaming for your top of your lungs. So they paralyze you. Then they put 2 different agents in your body. One makes you feel like you're burning, like in a fire, and the other one suffocates you. So you're suffocating while you're burning, but you're paralyzed. Literally, Google it. That's exactly what it does. But that's exactly what he should get. Sorry, why would you do this, bro? Over something so small. It wasn't something serious. Like, it's just somebody talking. It's like telling you my political views and you kind of get rid of me over my political views. Don't you think that's a little extreme? Even on the side of his side, even if you're like one of those people where you're like, I'm pro, pride and all that. Don't you? And this is where the pride people need to step in and speak up. They're like, yeah, that was a little extreme. People are going to not like us because we do a certain lifestyle. So I hate for people to be like, yeah, he should have did that. I hate Charlie Kirk. For the reason why you hated Charlie Kirk is not the reason why he killed him. Does that make sense? So the reason why certain people hate Charlie Kirk is not the same reason why they killed him. They killed him for a whole different reason. Do you get what I'm saying? And that was just a situation. It's just, yeah, it's a bad death, bro. But the president was involved with this. A lot of people was involved. Yeah. He's getting the needle, bro. I don't care. They're giving him that needle. Facts. I don't even know why we're wasting time. They're just doing trials because you have the right to a trial.
Short answer, they do not. This case is going to get bound over for trial. I think many of us long expected that. And yesterday, really, without being overly hyperbolic, was an explosive day of trial. It was the one that we were all looking for in this mini trial, which the preliminary hearing is. And as you pointed out, this was the final piece in the foundation that the state built. They closed yesterday. They were done. There was nothing else to put out there. The forensic evidence from the digital side and the ballistic side and the DNA side, and then you combine that, finally, Todd, with 4 different times that Lance Twiggs helped corroborate the fact that Tyler Robinson admitted this in essentially a confession. How so? The text chats, the Discord chats, the written note to him that showed premeditation, and lastly, Lance Twiggs' own words.
Yes. Here's Agent Brian Davis reading some of those text messages that you just referenced. Listen.
And Tyler says, I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. And then Lance replies, you weren't the one who did it, right? And Tyler says, I am, I'm sorry.
Done.
And James,
Guilty.
combine that with the fact that
Guilty.
Twiggs said Robinson confessed numerous times in those texts, in a note as well, and in person, and says Robinson cried afterward and, quote, says he wishes he hadn't done it. Look, I know you referred to this as a mini trial in your earlier answer.
It was a crash
but
out.
I would argue it should not be. We don't need to be here. This could have been done very, very quickly and very, very easily. And at this point, the judge can say, I've heard enough. So, James, how many more confessions does the judge need to see before he says, I've seen enough to move forward with a trial, and not drag this out during briefings over the course of the rest of the summer and then waiting until September to give a decision? I mean, this is ridiculous.
That's how the system works, brother.
Yeah, Todd, let me make it a little more less satisfying here. As you just pointed out, Today, we're going to hear from the final witness for the defense. It'll be another probably forensic examiner from the ATF. The prosecution has already stated they are not introducing a rebuttal witness. So this is going to start at 9 o'clock local time here in Provo and could wrap up before lunch. It could. The judge then is going to basically close everything down and ask that each of the teams, the defense team, the prosecution team, basically submit written statements. And to your point, we return right back here September 1st to hear the oral arguments. Todd, I'm going to go out on a limb here. This thing does not go to trial until sometime in 2027 or possibly 2028.
You've got to be
Get the
kidding
fuck
me.
outta here.
And none of this.
That's a problem with our system, bro. 2027 or possibly 2028, where he will officially be sentenced. You know, this happened to the killer that the 4th of July killer that shot all the parade in Illinois. That's the reason why we have the gun ban in Illinois, is because there was a kid who legally bought the gun, but he illegally used it at a 4th of July parade. 6 months later, J.B. Pritzker made a AR-15 ban and high-capacity magazine ban in the state of Illinois. Now, he did not get sentenced for, I think he might still not be sentenced, bro. He didn't get sentenced for like 3-4 years, bro. That happened like 4 years ago. He didn't even get sentenced yet, bro. And then you got to think about when you're in blue states. I don't know in his state, but I think they made this more of a federal thing, like a capital murder thing, which gives him the possibility of having a death penalty. For the state of Illinois, it doesn't matter how heinous the crime is, you don't get the death penalty unless the feds pick it up. That's how that works. So in the state of Illinois, if you're going to commit a crime, they're almost advising you to commit more than just one crime because of the fact that you don't get more than your typical life sentence in jail. Does that make sense? And that's why we should remove that from certain states, because when you remove the possibility of death penalty, more crime is committed. That's why there's so many crash outs in the state, because there's no consequence to said crimes. So same for this concept. He just said that we're about to waste. This is mid 2026. He said he's not going to be sentenced until probably mid 2027 or 2028. And for the death penalty, I don't believe you get the death penalty right away anyway. I believe you still serve a certain amount of time. I think you serve like 20 years. Let me Google this. I can Google that. I'm gonna Google it real quick and then give you all the right information, because I don't want to mislead you guys at all. Say with the death penalty. Do they serve jail time? Okay. Yeah, you see, that's the craziest thing. So it says, yes, individuals sentenced to death serve significant jail time, often spreading decades on death row while their cases go through a lengthy appeals process. The time between sentencing and prosecution averages more than 20 years. Yes. They say conditions on death row are highly restrictive. Inmates are generally isolated in solitary confinement, spends up to 23 hours a day alone in their cells, with sharp restrictions on visitation, exercise, and prison programs. Oh wow! And I want you guys to understand this, right? And this might go over your head. We pay about $70,000 per inmate in every prison, whether or not it seems as if they're getting it. $70,000 per year per inmate is being spent from taxpayers' dollars for each inmate in every prison. So when this guy is guilty, when this guy is guilty of said crime, he will not be killed. He will not get the needle or whatever death penalty he's getting for at least 20 years. So he's probably like 20-something years old, boy. He's going to be like 40-something years old before he's even sentenced. You know why I disagree with this? because by the time that they are sentenced, they make their way with God. They're willing to die now. They're okay with dying at that point. You get what I'm saying? So it takes them 20 years to give somebody the death penalty. So somebody can kill off a whole family. Just saying. They can kill off your whole family, granny and all that. You're vulnerable in a blue state, say Chicago, hypothetically speaking. Say Chicago, he kill off your whole family, your granny, your mother, your brothers, your sisters, your dog. First off, he's in Illinois, so he's not getting the death penalty. But say if the feds pick it up, he's only going to get life sentences, right? And he's not going to be in death row. He's just life sentence. If the feds pick it up, there's a possibility that he gets the death penalty. And if he does get the death penalty, he still will be on death row for about 20 years before he's actually killed. But guess who doesn't live? The family that stayed. Guess who guess who doesn't get to live another day? The family that he killed off. Y'all see the problem? You see the problem with the system. The system is flawed, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all need to understand what's going on. And I know it's bigger than just understanding. I think that we need to fix this flaw. There's a lot of flaws in our systems, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of time and money wasted for no apparent reason. Just to allow things to, even if the person did the most evilest thing in the world, he can blow up an elementary school with 50 to 500 kids inside. If he's in the state of Illinois, sir, he's not getting the death penalty. He's going to live the rest of his natural born life in prison, unless it's picked up by the feds, which Trump did change. Anything with capital murder leads to death penalty. Y'all get what I'm saying here? Y'all see the flaws? So before you protect a guy like this and say, well, he deserves it. Well, that same guy was the same type of guy would go inside of elementary school and do the kids in. Just letting you know. The same type of guy that would sit on the roof and do that was the same type of guy who will go inside of elementary school and do that to kids. And he will not get the death penalty. Even in this stance, I guess I predict he will get the death penalty. It's going to be 2 more years of trial. Even though the fucking evidence said today that he did it. He was at the scene. He had the gun. He had the injury. The person that he was talking to all collaborate that it was his. The father said it was their gun. He was there at the scene, on camera. But guess what's going to happen? He's going to do 2 more years before they even give him a guilty verdict, and he's going to serve 20 more years before they even kill him. The boy going to be 50-some years old maybe 60 before he actually go. Wow, that's 22 to 60 years from your family not being on earth. You grieving. You see, the system's flawed. It's been flawed for a very long time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue.
Is necessary. You don't need to do this. We had Donna Rotuno on. Obviously, I know you're all out there. And I said a couple of days ago, what's the longest preliminary hearing you've ever been through? She says maybe 40 minutes. I understand what the judge is trying to do. This is a high-profile case. He wants to dot all his I's and cross all his T's, but you can't let perfect be the enemy of the good, especially when there are family members that have to suffer through this not once, but apparently twice. One thing that said, one thing that could be a positive, if you will, that comes out of this, we all know that the conspiracy theories about what happened were running rampant, have been running rampant since last September. Do you think that with all this basically indisputable evidence coming out now, you think that quashed a lot of those, if not all of the conspiracy theories, James?
Yeah, that's a great point. From somebody who has watched every single second of this preliminary hearing, I have never, in 25 years in the FBI, I've sat through many, many, many trials and many preliminary hearings, have never, ever seen this much introduced evidence prior to the trial. I said it yesterday, Todd, I'll say it again.
The trial.
This is going to be an open and shut case.
Literally.
The best hope that the defense has is that the prosecution takes capital murder off of this and allows him to plead out to a life sentence. That's the best hope they have.
Yeah, but I don't see that happening when
That's
all of the evidence is on the prosecution's side. The ball is in their court. Why would they take the death penalty off the table when at this point
he would have to plead insanity? Yes. He would have to plead that he's crazy. Oh man, our system's flawed. Our system is flawed. His best case scenario is that he just gets life in prison. And that's really a good case of scenario because everybody would get life in prison. You premeditatedly bought a gun on campus to kill a person for something he said, what, months ago? In front of everybody. Yeah. So there's definitely the conspiracy theorists. They're wrong. Let's just put that out there. The conspiracy theorists are all wrong. They don't know shit. They act like they know shit. Candace Owens, you're wrong. Still saying the nigga's not dead. Like, come on, bro. What is wrong with people? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Mental illness is almost an American thing. Now I'm like, we got the highest mental illness like numbers. Like, is it the privilege that we have in the village? You know what I'm saying? I feel like the privilege that we have in America is creating our mental illness. You get what I'm saying? We ain't going through the struggle enough. We ain't been in a third world country where we fighting for our family to live, where the cartel running shit. We're so privileged in America that we're going crazy. I understand it now. It's starting to make sense. It's a sad reality, brothers and sisters out here, man. I want y'all to understand these people live amongst us. These are the same people that they're not motivated to create a purpose in their lives, so then they take other people's lives because they just gave up. Just because they just sad. That goes to a lot of guys. I think one of the guys that went into a school shooting, the same concept for that guy. He said, I did vaping and I think I'm going to die from vaping. So his only explanation was to go into a Catholic church school to kill the kids because he did self-harm to himself. So now he's like, let me just kill people off. And not just people, small individuals that have potential to become something great in the world. You see why you guys have to separate yourself from certain people that don't have aspirations in life. I'm gonna be honest, like I hit y'all with that motivation at the beginning of the video. I don't want to mislead y'all. People are, when they're not motivated in life, they don't have no purpose. You should remove yourself from them. I'm gonna be honest. They become a threat to people that, people you love, to other people. They start to don't think that there's no purpose. They stop believing in God. They have no faith. But this funny thing is, because if you compare their lifestyle to anybody 20 years prior to their lifestyle is way easier. I was just explaining this to somebody yesterday. I said, your lifestyle is way easier than your parents were, and their lifestyle was way easier than their parents were. It's only going to get weaker. America, and this is for everybody because of technology and the advances that we have, it's only going to get weaker, bro. I want y'all to understand that. Like, this is the thinking channel. And I want you to think, every year that we evolve as humans, the more weaker the people become because there's less work that they had to overcome. The more people are like this mental health thing wasn't a thing 20 years ago. I'm not saying certain people didn't have mental health problems. They did. But that was certain people. Most people understood the game. They understood that we must work to get outcome. We weren't worried about our sexuality. We weren't worried about you had those killers and stuff, yes. But now with today, modern time, we're so privileged. It's like a kid that's privileged and now he's beating on his mama. Fuck you, mom. Bitch. Now you're beating on your mother when your mother gave you a lifestyle that most kids don't have because you're privileged. And you've never been disciplined. You never had to work for nothing. You don't have to, you don't know how to go and get the money. You were allowed to sit on your ass and play around, play video games and do whatever you want to do all day long. And then now it's your mother's fault, which she has some fault to it, but now it's your mother's fault because she babied you so much. And now you feel like you're entitled to those things. Look, I'm from the trenches. I'm a trench baby. So I'm just speaking I'm from a bad area. I understood that people from this area don't really last long. See, when I put those rose-colored glasses on and understood, there's a possibility, statistically, I shouldn't make it out of here. Let me try to prevent that. Then I started going over to the suburbs and I realized like all these kids are super duper privileged. I'm like, wait, y'all don't understand that y'all got privilege in the world other than the people on this side? On the hood side, they'll die for your opportunity. They'll kill you for your opportunity. And then you have to kind of and I want y'all to think about this. If I'm from the trenches and I come to the suburbs and I start looking at how people are living their life, and I'm like, damn, I'll die for your opportunity while you're mistreating your parents and who gave you the opportunity. I'm like, oh shit. Like if I was in your position, I would love it. And then I look at the immigrants coming into America and I'm like, bro, they see that Americans are privileged with freedom. We have choices. We're not restricted on certain women can't drive in other countries. Then they see like, damn, America's living great. I will die in or kill for their opportunity. Just the opportunity. I still would have to work, but I'm willing to work because that's better than where I'm from. So when you get a hood dude or a dude from the streets that go over to the burbs, I see opportunity, while certain people that are privileged, they don't see the opportunity. So I get to prosper where they live. So immigrants come in and they get to prosper where we live at. This dude had a good lifestyle. This is the same with the Mendoni guy, the Louis Mendoni, the guy that killed the CEO. This nigga went to he was an Ivy League. Parents took good care of him. He had a friend that wanted that needed the insurance. It didn't even have to do with him. He killed for a different reason. He killed for a reason that had nothing to do with him. That's the flaw, ladies and gentlemen, that we're dealing with. The mental health, and it's like it ain't no solution, because the solution that they have, and I'm gonna be honest, if you know, you know, because I'm out here in the streets. I'm at the age where I understand it. At the same time, I'm with the grown-ups too, because I'm not in that pussy field. I was raised in the 90s where we played video games and we had board games. Now we is straight in the video game era. Now we in the full tech era. These kids now, they were born with PS5s. Gee, I want you to understand that. That's a different type of way of thinking. They don't know, if you reverse it back to Nintendo 64, Sega, bro, they don't know nothing about that. They'll get anxiety because you done pulled out an ancient machine. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to understand the problem with Americans and look at yourself and evaluate yourself. I evaluate myself. That's why I'm like, man, I got to get up and get active, because I got an immigrant probably looking at my lifestyle like, hey, man, I need that from you. And as a weak American sitting there and not doing nothing, they just come in and take it. And they should have it because they working for it. They took it by force. So this guy comes in and he's like, I'm going to kill Charlie Kirk because he said something about gay people. When he has conservative values, every person from Charlie Kirk's age and up probably have conservative values based on that. They don't agree on the behavior. They think it's anti-Christ. Now to tell you in the Bible. And then they just voice it. But him voicing it caused him to get killed by a guy that's unhinged because he had no purpose in life. Even the boyfriend didn't even know. He never heard him talk about Charlie Kirk. So he says. This is a sticky situation that we're in, ladies and gentlemen, man. And you got to think about it. I call them devils. These devils will commit heinous crimes. And then they're going to be freed by our same government that allows people to finesse their own country. He just said best case scenario is that he gets life in prison. Even if he didn't get life in prison, he still is going to be able to live for another 20 years in prison. And he's not going to get sentenced for another 2 to 3. America's a great system, man. And it makes sense why people come over here and take advantage of it. But then you have to think about other situations too. I can rant on about shit all day long. You can think about other situations too. Why are they disarming Americans while letting other people in the country? Because they know we're about to fight back. They know eventually the revolution is coming. So they disarm you. So that's less likely to happen. Y'all better wake up, man. I'm not saying do nothing violent, but I'm just saying open your eyes to understand what's going on. Because you're going to look up and you're going to be vulnerable to your circumstance. Now, I'm not saying that you be scared, because this is what it's doing. It's forcing people not to speak. Imagine someone's using their Second Amendment right to enforce your First Amendment right. There's a reason why it's their First Amendment right. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. But they're using their things like, I don't like you saying anything about gay people, so I'm going to try to off you. And that's why I get passionate about this situation, because I seen a lot of videos. You can look at my channel and look at videos about Charlie Kirk. I didn't like that people were on there saying, yeah, he should have died. He should have did this. He were anti this. Look, besides the point of what you thought he was, that's not why the killer killed him. Does that make sense? He killed him for something that we all probably agreed on. That's the problem. So you're going to have the NPCs in this world, and they're going to agree on things like this. And they say they're Christian people, but they love violence. Ain't that something? I want you to watch those type of people. Watch the people that claim to be religious and or Christians or Muslims or any religion that they have to pray to a higher God, and then see how they behave. Are they throwing themselves around? Are they over hypersexualized? Are they killing, harming, causing mayhem? Because there's a lot of fake Christians in this country. A lot of them. I see them every day. Fake. I don't even the pastors, bro. There's a lot of pastors in Chicago. They're for abortion. They for all that, bro. They never fight against it. They want vasectomies. They want abortions. Like, bro, you're the pastor. That's the first thing you're supposed to say no to. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, man. Let's continue and see what's going on, man. Y'all gonna get me ranting up in here. We're gonna go to the next subject, man, because the problem I'm having is that I'm not exempt from the mayhem that these criminals or these monsters create in the world. So I can talk my shit all I want. I could be the next target. So that's all I'm speaking of. And you can be the next target. So you're saying if I speak my mind on telling people the truth, you get a crash out dummy. I call them crash out dummies. You get a crash out dummy that just like, I don't like what you said. Look how sensitive we are. I don't like what you said. You didn't do nothing. You're just saying things. I'm going to harm you now. And I'm going to jeopardize my life, and I'm going to jeopardize the life of all the people around me. Because I just don't like what you say. It's not you. It's what you said about me or about people like me. That's crazy, man. We live in a weak society now, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't agree on that, man, you're just not awoke. Wait to the point where all the old people start to get harmed, bro, because we allowed the crime to carry on. Once you're at an age where you can't defend yourself anymore is when y'all gonna start opening your eyes. They say it's like when a woman started getting attention, she started to pay attention to why she should have been worrying about a family and a marriage. Wait till society happen, then we're gonna say what happens. Like I think in the future, I'm an optimist. I'm a strategist. I look in the future about things that are happening right now. I think about AI. I think about why they're taking the gun rights away. I think about the pride shit that they're pushing on our kids. Y'all gotta understand the shit like this is happening. And if you don't, shit, you won't.
It's the defense that has to come groveling. James Galliano.
Yeah, we're going to cut this video. It's enough of that. I had enough. I had enough of the nonsense. Okay, let's get to the next one, man. Actually, let's just get to the nitty gritty because we're going to end this in like 30, 40 minutes. So we're going to get right to the flock camera stuff. So Big Brother's watching, ladies and gentlemen. Big Brother is watching. And what I mean by that, the flock cameras, brother. They said that now around the country, we have a lot of people now coming out saying that they don't want the flock cameras around. You know what's funny about the flock cameras? I'm going to give you a personal story before we start this conversation. I don't live in the best neighborhood. It's not a horrible neighborhood, but it ain't the best neighborhood, right? Not only they don't even have the flock cameras on the main street. They have them all in my neighborhood. As soon as you go in or out my neighborhood, and there's about 5 ways to get in this neighborhood, in this region, right? It's a little sector. They all have flock cameras. No one can go in or out without being recorded, but they're not on the main street on that because it's connected to a main street. It's not on the main street, but it's connected to all my neighborhood. If you go out my neighborhood, turn right, bust another right into a slightly better neighborhood, no flock cameras whatsoever. So when they say, oh, we're just trying to catch criminals, how about if the criminals just go over 1 or 2 houses to the good neighborhoods and steal from them? Now you didn't have that information that you said that you needed to catch them. I think it's like I said, Big Brother's watching at all times. I Googled it. Come to find out, they report gunshots. They report like a shot call, like all that. A shot spotter. They record gunshots. They record audio. So you just thinking you walking past, having your own private conversations. No, it's being recorded. And the problem is I'm having about the ones by us is that they put them up in front of people's houses. So the one flock camera that's facing towards, it's not facing towards the main street. It's facing towards inside the neighborhood. They're all in front of like 10, 15 houses. They can see when you in and out your house. They're running your license plate every time you leave. Every time you leave the house, they're running the license plate. You might not leave the house with some expired ticket. If your sticker expired yesterday and you walk to the house, then like, oh, let me get to the DMV real quick. Nope, police already on you. They seen it when you came out your driveway, brother. They seen it when you came out your neighborhood instantly. So, you know, and now you got to be, you know, I know it's expired, officer, please give me mercy. Now you got to ask for mercy for something that, of course, you should have prepped for. But damn, can we have a little privacy? Can we have a little privacy? So that being said, it seems like as if there's a lot of people now attacking flock cameras all around the country. Yes, because everyone's realizing that the police doesn't want to release footage of that flock camera, but they want to record. But it's supposed to be a Freedom Act. You're supposed to be having able access to get the video footage from it, even if it's not from that day. It can be from a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever. You should still be able to access that data. That's either here or there. But the problem is the police is fighting against it. They don't want to release that data. Like, what do you have on this data that you don't want to release? So you're telling me that I can, and technically speaking, since it's being recorded, I can act for this information, the Freedom Information Act. I can ask for this information and be spying on individuals, not as it's happening, but over time. And then you have these flock cameras sitting right in front of people's homes. I can see when you're in and out your house, what you're eating for dinner, possibly hear your conversation in your house with this new tech. But I can definitely hear the conversation. I can definitely hear if you're outside, I can hear you because it has audio, good audio too. Then it's getting sent back straight to the police department. Now, this video is not more about this. This video is about misuse of it. This one is specifically in Georgia. The other one was in Washington. We had one in Illinois, where the police officers that work the system is misusing the flock system. They're using it to spy on people, to track certain girls that they want to follow from the gym, and they see a car that they like. They're like, oh, that was a cute girl in that car. So let me use the flock camera technology to track down who's in the car so I can get her personal information. Literally, bro. Facts. I'm not lying to you. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel right now. Subscribe to the channel, man. I'm telling you, I'm the truth. I've been against flock since flock has been here, because I read this book back in the day, and it was about Big Brother, how they have mass surveillance. What's that movie? It's a movie called what is that movie called? And they had cameras everywhere, like in your house. As soon as you leave your house, as soon as you walk down the street, there's cameras everywhere. You couldn't do anything outside the perimeter. Like, privacy ain't private no more. They're putting cameras in the cars, G. They're putting cameras in the cars. Oh, we're just making sure you don't go to sleep. Are you? Where is this being synced back to? We're about to see a mass change in a lot of things in the next 10 years. Facts. And y'all thought, let me play this video, but before I say that, I want you to put some on your head top, because this is really gonna surprise you. You think that they're gonna stop with the flock cameras sitting in front of your house? No. Eventually, they're gonna have flock drones, bro. They have to. That's the only other option other than that. They're like, we got to catch the crime, even the ones on the move. They're gonna have to have flock drones, G, that record and cycles all. I already envisioned this shit. I said, whoa, because I'm a visionary. I'm a visionary, but I'm a strategist. I say, well, if I was flock camera company and I'm getting government contracts, because the only reason it really became a problem, I want you guys to understand what I'm saying here. The only reason it became a problem before is because they thought they were sharing the information with ICE, because they thought ICE was using the information to catch people in the country. So the liberals came out, oh, please, we don't want ICE to have it. Yeah, but you want to be recorded regardless. Who do you think has it regardless? They can subpoena the fucking the regular government, local government, and take it. They could subpoena fucking flock and take it. They're the feds, bro. But that's when everybody start, oh man, I don't want them to have it because the ICE has it. No, you should be scared that the government just has access to it in general, because they can do anything they want with that information. They put you where you need to be. Like, I don't want to be recorded. That's just what it is. It's becoming scandalous, G. Like, I just want a little privacy. Can I walk my dog? Can I ride my bike? Oh, it's solving crime. But ain't been no crime over here. What are you talking about? It ain't been no crime over here. But why when I go to the slightly better neighborhood, one block down, literally, like 5-minute walk over to the next block, no flock cameras whatsoever. The white people on this side, no flock cameras whatsoever. It's only in this region. So you are technically surveying the poors. Not saying that they're not committing the crime. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to survey people, let's survey everybody. Let's be fair now. Let's survey everybody. because they know that those people definitely are not going to want that in their neighborhoods. Right? And then they misinterpret information and misreport it. And this is the problem. I'm just saying, if you think like a strategist, if you think like a company like Flock, what do you think is next? The next step is drones, G. They already got it out here. The police is already using drones to go to scenes within 3 minutes instead of 7 minutes so they can see what's going on, which I'm not against, but I am against for mass surveillance when it comes to a third-party company. Flock is not a federal company. It's not a government entity. This is a private company that is using this data and giving access to the government. Flock was about to do a collab with Ring, G, for the Super Bowl. Did y'all not? Oh, y'all don't know. Y'all not subscribed. That's why. If you subscribe, you would know this, because I speak on this all the time. If you y'all might as well subscribe. I'm telling you, because it seems like y'all don't know. If you knew, you knew. Flock they tried to do a collab with Ring cameras, so they can tell people, oh, your dog's missing. Then why would you, if my dog's missing, why the fuck would you need Flock connected to my Ring? Because you're telling the police about shit that shouldn't be reported to the police. Now you're seeing me enter my house. You're seeing me leave my block. You're seeing me enter the main street, and you're basically putting me where you think I should be at. Oh, this guy, yeah, his license suspended. Or someone's driving your car and your license say your car is registered to a car that the guy that's the original car owner license is suspended. Now you're pulling your girlfriend over that's driving the car because her license is not suspended, or your wife. That's what I'm talking about. Oh man, the person that would be driving this car, supposed to be driving this car, license suspended. The car didn't come up as no red flag. When I'm driving down my block, I'll tell you what happens. Police sit all throughout my block. When I get out of my thing, bro, they're not even following you. They'll just randomly put their lights on and follow certain cars because they already got the bing. They're sitting back waiting for the shit to ring, and they be like, okay, we got a red flag right here. And the information is getting sent quick, just like that. They're not even pursuing people no more. The system is catching the people. It's like lazy policing. They're not even doing their job no more. They letting the robots predict what they should and who they shouldn't pull over. Oh yeah, this car was registered to a person that had a license, suspended license. So is the car suspended? Is it expired tags? Then why are you pulling me over? And that's their justification. Like, ma'am, get out the car. Hey, I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not. Hey, look, if I'm lying, bro, unsubscribe right now. I guarantee you. I don't like to say anything that I'm not almost sure about. If I'm lying, unsubscribe right now. Facts. Now let's play this video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I'm not bullshitting you. Watch this. This is your boy Angelo Savage, man. It's the Savage Daily News. I want y'all to subscribe to the channel if you're feeling the content. Appreciate the love.
Happened before, that's going to happen again unless you demand transparency within surveillance.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me turn the volume up. Let me refresh that. It's scary, big dog. Scary out here in the field.
Happened before, that's going to happen again unless you demand transparency within surveillance.
Growing concern across Georgia tonight about flock cameras.
Several law enforcement officials across the state have been charged with misusing the surveillance tech in just the last week. So is it just a few bad apples or a symptom of a wider problem? And that is where we start tonight on the News at 10. I'm Russ Spencer.
And I'm Christine Spiro. In the latest instance, a Greene County deputy is accused of using the flock database for personal business.
And he's not alone. Within the last few months, at least 10 other members of law enforcement around the state have been charged with the same. Our side's Rob Durienzo joins us tonight with a closer look at the growing concerns over those flock cameras. Rob?
That's right, guys. Good evening to you both. I spoke with the co-founder of Flock, which is headquartered right here in Atlanta. She thinks these cases are a small price to pay for all the crime that the system solves. But the ACLU of Georgia says this is a wake-up call.
Facts.
Growing public distrust after several officers have been charged across Georgia for using the Flock license plate tracking database for personal reasons.
It has happened before, and it's going to happen again unless you demand transparency within surveillance.
In Greene County, Deputy Kenesha Goss was fired on Tuesday, charged with misusing the Flock system. Earlier this week in Albany, 5 police officers. Last month in Cherokee County, a lieutenant, sergeant, and deputy were all charged with violating their oath.
In this case, where misuse happened, the technology itself was not creating the misuse. It was human beings.
Paige Todd, the Atlanta-based company's co-founder, says many of the recent arrests have come as a result of departments using their new audit assistance tool, which flags unusual searches.
The best way to prevent misuse is now every member of law enforcement out there knows that this audit exists.
It uses AI.
And that's why information security analyst Peter Tran says this is so unnerving for so many, because this network of cameras has the ability to track a lot about you, which becomes searchable in a nationwide database.
It becomes a privacy and security issue. So your whereabouts, where you shopped, your name, your address.
Across the country, there's a growing pushback against flock cameras, with dozens of communities ending their contracts with the company over privacy concerns.
Facts.
Jeopardizing your civil rights and civil liberties is never just an unfortunate event. You have constitutional rights, especially a right to privacy. And the question is, who polices the police?
But Todd believes the good her company has enabled cops to do has outweighed the bad.
We, I believe, solve about 1 million crimes with our technology. 10,000 missing people have gone home because of it. This feels like pretty small in comparison.
And guys, meanwhile, there are dozens of videos circulating on social media explaining to people how they can break, disable, or tear down these flock cameras.
Yep.
But it did happen in Barrow County. The sheriff there says it happened to 3 flock cameras, and he reminded people it is a felony. Live in Midtown, Rob DiRienzo.
Yes. There has been a lot of people around the country they basically been covering the cameras up. They've been spray painting the lens. They've been cutting the whole pole down because they don't like their neighborhoods being surveyed. You know what I mean? Like there's at the tip of my neighborhood, there's 2 houses for sale right there. And I'm like, I wonder if they're selling it because the flock cameras are watching their home all day. Because every time a car pings it, it's giving new frames, and cars are passing your house every second. So it's giving different frames of your front door all the time. Now, one that don't care about mass surveillance would be like, hey, at least the police is watching my house. Look, if somebody broke in your house in front of a camera, they're not coming to your house unless you call them. But if somebody passed your house and the car that passed your house has a suspended license or a tag, they'll come and try to get the dude. If you try to use the information from the flock camera for non-flock camera reasons, they're not going to use the flock camera to find anything, because it would expose what they're actually doing with the cameras, and that's mass surveillance. Now, I want y'all to understand what's really going on. Look at all the officers that are being caught using this for external reasons. I'll tell you one thing, and I want y'all on this channel, I'll make y'all think. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, your boy Savage. One thing that they're not going to tell you what they're doing is they're not going to tell you what they did when they violated the rules of the flock camera for all the police. Facts. In this whole situation, they didn't say once what the police did. They just said they were charged with messing with it. Okay, how were they charged? How did they use it? I want to see that, because if they told us that, it would expose their hand, and we would really be upset with what they're doing. You get what I'm saying? Spying on people, using certain information, because when your license plate is scanned, your address comes up. Your whole identification comes up. Everything. You know what I'm saying? The police is misusing the flock, not ICE. ICE has an objective. They're using it for work. The police using it for personal gain. Probably to catch a cheater. Oh, my boyfriend cheated, and I want to see every time. Let me lock into this flock camera that is right by my house. I know every time he leaves. He say he at the gym. He ain't at the gym. You get what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. I want y'all to understand the severity factor of this. They say AI is watching. Now, look, I'm a hypothetically speak here, and I'm just throwing some at the wind right now for this comment. If AI happened to take over, right? Let's just hypothetically speak. If AI happened to take over, which I'm be honest is inevitable based on our knowledge compared to theirs, we're letting the AIs talk with each other. Like it's a matter of time. Niggas gonna try to take us out because we're getting in the way. They already have mass surveillance on us because the shit is using AI to mass survey us. They already know where we at. So if they sending the AI drones around, they be like, where the humans at? Or what Trump said, the ghost murmur. They put the ghost murmur on the drones. What there ain't no human about to be left. I'm still using OpenAI. I'm still using ChatGPT, but I'm just saying, if hypothetically speaking, right? I want you to use your imagination here on this channel too. I just want y'all to understand what's going on with security, because it goes from a world of not being like surveyed so much to mass surveillance, and then everyone's okay with it. But what did the lady say? But it's the number of police doing this doesn't add up to the number of crimes we've solved. That's fine. So that's okay for the police to be using this. That's her way of justifying it. Her way of justifying the use of the police being caught is that we've solved more crimes than the amount of police has been doing it. What does that mean, though? Like, what does that really mean? You get what I'm saying? And then the flock cameras also, they're recording more than we think they're recording. They're recording audio. If your windshield's cracked, that's a violation. Pull them over. Your tail lights out, violation. Pull them over. It's nigga, it's a code in the system. They can switch it quick. They're already doing that. That's all I'm saying. Like, if y'all care about your privacy and stuff, y'all need to protest against not allowing this to be, at least in the neighborhoods. Now, if it's on a main street, main road, yeah, but like, you got a flock camera sitting in front of my house, G? Like, come on, man. I don't want the house no more. And imagine you bought this house 10 years ago, and then this year they put a flock camera in front of your house to mass survey the neighborhood. And your home is not exempt. This is a wide angle camera lens with audio, with access. That's like somebody putting a Ring camera in front of your house, watching your house all the time. And they can use the data for any reason. Any cop can access it, and they're just using it for whatever reason they need it to be used for. You can't talk about nothing. You basically got to be quiet in your own home. It's the Big Brother's coming, brothers and sisters. So if you're a man, of course you probably understand the threat here. Some women are like, I like the security factor, but it goes beyond. Not saying all women are a thing like that. It goes beyond security. It goes beyond. That's like privacy. You have no right to privacy anymore. Eventually, it's going to be like anything outside your home. You have no right to privacy. We can watch, as the government, every part of the world that is not your home. And if we want to get in your home, we just have the judge sign the order, and we can get in your home and audit all your cameras inside your house and outside around your house. That you get what I'm saying? That's all. I don't want to scare y'all or nothing, because I know some people get scared and they start to act erratic with certain information. But I just want y'all to take this information and understand that not only are we being watched, we're being lied to. You know what I mean? And then the police are using this information. Like the other day, I'm pulling out the neighborhood. Police just run down the block right behind me. Boom. Look, I got a CDL. My shit clean. My shit always clean. But he got up on me as if my shit wasn't clean. And as soon as I was about to turn off, that boy did a U-turn, got back where his position was. I'm like, what the fuck is he on? You get what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all on for real? Like, is this what y'all do? You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't got nothing better to do. Like, if the flock cameras are doing y'all job, let's go do some investigation type stuff. Go solve some crimes. They got all these flocks in Chicago. I'm gonna be honest, they got a lot of flocks in Chicago. Every major highway in Chicago, I-80, 88, 55, 90, 355, 290, all that. It's all surveyed, bro. It literally says it. It's all got cameras on it, yet the killings are constantly happening. Y'all not serving crime. So it's like, y'all putting the crime here and y'all say y'all crime numbers are coming from regular people, while the real criminals are just getting away with shit. Literally. That's why I like Chicago, but we have bad leadership out here in Iraq, because it's like when somebody like me start talking like this, bro, they don't like people like me. They don't care if you're black or not. If you start talking like me in Chicago, bro, they're going to try to dismantle you. They're going to try to get rid of you because you're fighting against their agenda. Same with JB Priester. I want to put this on your head top before we go. I said that JB Priester did not make a gun ban until a white boy killed white people. And I'm not trying to make it racial now, but that was the reality of the situation. He just brought it up again yesterday. with his misinformation. He said a AR-15 shoots 60 bullets, 60 rounds per minute. I mean, per second. I was like, bro, this dude is like confused. But the thing is, like the people there's been over 500 to 800 murders in Chicago every year until one kid on 4th of July parade gets up on a roof, which is a child of a former mayor of that city, gets on the roof and kills 4 people with an AR-15. Now he wants to ban the guns. Bro, you've been in the office for this long and you didn't ban the guns. Now you want to randomly ban it. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all need to understand why they're doing things. It's to remove power and privacy from you. Then what happens? You cannot fight back. There's no fighting back. You're disarmed. Try to fight back now. Because the same people that disarm you have and use those items. Eventually, the guns and shit are only going to be for the rich. You know what I'm saying? And the poor people are just going to sit here and just live amongst each other, surveyed. And the reason why I was saying that they had cameras in my area and not the little more richer area, not richer, but more wealthier area next a block or 2 over, is because they're going to be surveying the poors. The poor people will be more surveyed than anyone else. They're not even putting them in other neighborhoods. I guarantee I drive around all the time like, wow, there's no flock cameras over here, but crime could happen here too. It's literally across the street. But over here, we got 6, 7 flock cameras all in our neighborhood. There's no crime. There's never no crime in my neighborhood. But they have hella flock cameras. That's all I'm saying. Y'all just watch your back. Tell me what you do. It's your boy, Angelo Savage. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's your boy. This is the Savage Daily News. We're doing something new today. We're doing the morning show instead of the night show. If you want to tune in later, we'll be back tonight also to do some more night news to keep you updated what's going on around our country and our world. All right. Let's move on to the next video. Oh, actually, before we do that, let me read some comments out because, you know, I promise you guys I read comments if you subscribe to the channel, and you can only comment if you subscribe to the channel. Anyway, violation of our 5th Amendment, Sim Racing Center. Violation of our 5th Amendment, plain and simple. Yeah, bro, they're about to be, look, they're already violating our 2nd Amendment. I doubt they care about our 5th. I'm going to plead the 5th in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Silence. They are violating. Y'all got to understand, when there's gun rights and there's gun bans, you're violating. And the reason I put this in aspects, I explained this to a girl yesterday. Banning guns, and not all guns, you know, the constitutional guns, they say that constitutionally you can't have. That's okay, fully automatic. Banning guns and saying, okay, we're going to ban Glock because the capability of it being altered. They can alter any gun. With a 3D printer and proper, if you know what you're doing, you can make any gun a fully automatic. That's how guns work. But what they do is let's ban the whole genre of Glock. You can't do that. Let's ban all AR style guns. It can be a shotgun style AR. And AR just means the style of the gun. It doesn't mean the type of caliber it shoots. You can have a 22 in the AR style. You can have a shotgun in the AR style. You can have a 9mm in the AR style. The thing is, they send this to the people that don't understand that concept. So what they do is like, they're going to restrict your 2nd Amendment. And remember, the founding fathers made this a rule for probably a reason. Just the same reason they said your 1st Amendment is the freedom of speech. Then it was press and religion was added. Y'all don't understand that part, right? So if they can restrict your 2nd Amendment, which was the 2nd rule that the founding fathers put in, you think they won't restrict your 1st? Oh, I forgot. It's our 1st Amendment. I have the right to say what I want. That's not how that works. If eventually they're gonna be like, hey, bro, you can't speak on nothing that has to do with gay people. If you say anything that has to do with you not liking these type of people, crime. And that's the only thing I'm saying. I'm saying if they are restricting your 2nd Amendment, why can't they restrict your 1st Amendment? It's open. Now they're gonna be restricting your religion. Now you pressing all, and I'm just hypothetically speaking. I could be wrong, but if they're able to touch your constitutional right of your the 2nd thing they wrote down on the Declaration of Independence or whatever, the constitutions, they already adjusting that. You think they can't touch the 1st one? You'll eventually be silenced or jailed. And if you try to fight back, you can't because you're disarmed. I just want to put that on your head top, bro. They don't care about your 5th Amendment, nigga. They're trying to take away your 2nd already. Ain't nothing you can do when they're taking away your 2nd. How do you fight against a territorial? How do you say it? A rogue government? I like to say rogue government because they got different writing for it. You ain't gonna fight against no rogue government because they already disarmed you. because they know they was gonna go rogue. It says enemy of the state. Bro, it's an enemy of the state, Crystal Bush. It's gonna be the enemy of the state. We can't do anything about it, man. We're gonna have to sit back and just take it, man. No lube. Just saying. It says that Stallion movie, Judge Dredd, maybe. I don't know, man. I seen it was a movie, it's a common movie. It was maybe it was The Giver. Remember The Giver? The Giver is when they had their skills and shit, and you were given certain skills and positions in life. And when they came downstairs from upstairs, whatever, they had like the lady went and they had the holograph lady, and she's already sitting in your house seeing what's going on. She's seen the baby in the crib. Then as soon as you leave, they was surveillance the house. As soon as you're walking down the block, surveys the crib. They almost telling you what they gonna do. So I think it was The Giver. You know, when he got his skill to give, but people don't understand the first part of that movie. First part of the movie, he was like mass surveillance. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's put a few of those cameras in the boardrooms of the big banks in Wall Street. Hey, look, once that happens, you know that ain't gonna happen now. See, the mass surveillance only happens to the poor people that can't afford to fight. You think the rich people care about your two-way rights? They have security with the guns. See, that's different now. They have ex-police officers on the payroll. These rules, and I'm be honest, rules only affect the middle class for real, or the low middle class. This don't affect the people that can afford things not to happen. It don't affect really the poorest, and it don't affect the highs. It affects those middle people that, because the poor don't even give a damn. They're the ones committing crimes. And then the highs, they don't give a damn because they can pay for it for protection. It affects the people that are the law-abiding citizens in the middle. So, you know, a typical person like me and you are not going to go out there and attack a fucking flock camera. We're not just going to go out there and attack the flock camera. That'd be something that the highs or lows do. Because they're scared of what would happen if we were taken out of position temporarily because of our structure in life. If I go to jail, I can't make money for my family. My family can't pay the bills. They're screwed. So I don't commit crimes. I stay in position. I don't rebel. Right? Crystal Bush said 1984 Bush Orwell. I heard that name before, but I don't know. Is that a movie? And then White Snake said, I almost got falsely arrested because of one of these cameras. Dude, you'll be falsely arrested. They think you're somebody else and you just driving somebody else's car. Or the license plate come out as something else. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they would do stuff like that. But all the AI knows is that it was told a command and it does what it told to do. And it sends it to who it's supposed to send it to. I'm not going to blame AI for that, but they are using AI to get the information to scan the shit so fast and send it to the system. But it's not the AI's fault. It's the police officers misusing the fault and why they're using it for. You know what I mean? AI is just doing what the master tells it to do. Crystal Bush says, I was suggesting the movie that you were trying to remember. That's all. I never seen that movie, George Orwell. But I think it was The Giver, though. I think it was The Giver. You know, and it's not the whole Giver. It was just that first part of the movie. It was either The Giver. What's that movie with when they got the skills and they were put into different sectors with a team and they had to fight against each other to live? It was either that movie or The Giver, where it was just the first scene in the movie where, you know, they were given a position in life and they were surveillance in their house. And then when they got the house, they were surveyed all in their, you know, because people are like, what's the point of what's the point of security? What's the point of privacy? What do you have to hide? I hate when people say that. Why are you scared to be watched? You got something to hide? Like, it's not about having something to hide. It's about the principle of being watched. Why am I being watched? Because why they're watching us ain't the reason why I don't want to be watched. They're watching us for intel, watching us so they can predict. It's like the NSA. You think the NSA ain't got the phones tapped? Nah, I'm getting too high in this conversation. I don't want. They shut my shit down. They're like, oh yeah, he talking too sweet. Shut him down now. NSA, you know, there's a reason why you don't hear about them. They discreet. They in the cut. The NSA be up in here. They like, oh yeah, he talking about us. Nah, shut him down. Give him a full federal audit. That's the 3-letter gang you do not want to mess with. Them NSAs, boy. They tapping every line. Tell me I'm lying. You better Google it. All right, let's. I'm gonna do one more story. We're gonna get out of here. I gotta do 2 more stories actually. Ah, man, I gotta do. We going. All right, we talked about the federal stuff. We talk about what's happening in Georgia, around the country. We going straight back to Illinois with it, man. This is how I'm gonna end the story. You know how I start. I start off federal. I bring it down to the states, and then I'm gonna bring it down to my level of understanding. This is the state of Illinois. Most likely Chicago, but this is the state of Illinois. So we're going to commentate on what's going on right now in Illinois, and then we're going to get off of here, man. I've been on here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's been a very successful stream. I appreciate the love, y'all. Make sure y'all like the video for the algorithm so it can go up and boost. And then, because I'm spitting some game here. And I also want y'all to subscribe to the channel, man. Tell me what y'all think about this, all right? Let's do this. So it seems like Illinois state representatives and the husband was charged with wire fraud and obstruction. I don't think we reading this. And you know what's so funny? Every time I find something, I'll be honest with you. Every time I find good information, let me refresh the page because it's gonna probably lag. Every time I find good information, right? And when I mean good
Illinois
information,
House GOP leaders are demanding reform following a recent federal indictment of a state lawmaker.
We told you Wednesday about the charges.
Information, right? Every time I find a good list or something, they never speak on it too much. So if there's any fraud that I find in the state of Illinois, you've got a bunch of liberal channels out here, like, you know, WDN is kind of be up there, but CBS. As soon as I find something that's important that needs to be said, they only make the video like a minute, like a quick little clip, and then they cut it. They don't speak into it. They don't say how it's wrong because it was a Democratic state representative that got caught. So when they speak on it and within 1 minute, they no longer speak on it. Let's go play the video. It's your boy, Angelo Savage. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the love. Let's go.
Illinois House GOP leaders are demanding reform following a recent federal indictment of a state lawmaker.
We told you Wednesday about the charges against State Representative Carol Ammons and her husband. Ammons is accused of running a nearly decades-long kickback scheme. Now, Republicans argue the indictment was the inevitable consequence from years of putting off ethics reforms. So they're pushing for tougher ethical standards in the budget review process as well. They say if action isn't taken now, taxpayers will lose confidence in lawmakers.
The House has an obligation to protect the integrity of this institution, independent of the criminal justice system. Criminal proceedings determine guilt or innocence. The House determines whether its members are worthy of serving the people of Illinois.
This comes just days after former state rep Harry Benton resigned over an investigation that found he committed, quote, outrageous, unethical conduct, end quote. Republicans are calling on the details of that investigation to be released.
Look, I heard they was stealing money, G. Facts. Wire fraud, they didn't tell you how much it was, though. See, they'll never tell you how much the wire fraud was, because then we'll be shocked, like, oh, shit. I think it was like $100 million. Something big. Multiple felonies, wire fraud, false statements, conspiracy, obstructing justice. You hear me? Yeah. You dig? It's a lot of corruption in, like, while they were too busy. Hold on. Damn. While they was too busy talking about Rod Blagojevich and trying to get him off, the whole time they was finessing out the gangway, man. Wait, hold on. Damn. I've been on this bitch too long to start the buffer. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Oh, shit. Hold on, team.